We're live on YouTube at City Sports GH. Get there, hit the like and subscribe button. Get to us on X or Twitter at City973's official handle. And then you can send us your thoughts as well. Over text, WhatsApp, and Telegram, it's 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996. Sweet Kwame has tears all over. Says the title is gone. I'm not sure when the title was won in January though. Says awful performance by every City player. Zeman says Carrick with the assist to Arsenal. City is not winning the league. Why are you people already talking about the league being won? Meanwhile, Real Madrid Football Club also currently suffering after firing manager Xabi Alonso. Arbeloa lost his first game against Albacete in the Copa del Rey. They are currently drawing goalless at home to Levante. I believe the second half has just kicked off. Gonzalez has had to go off for Mastantuono. There's 81 minutes played in the derby. So a couple of people on YouTube are complaining about, I think, low sound quality. So if we can get that sorted out. But it's United looking like they could score a third goal. Welcome to the Republic of Football. Manuel Kwache, Yao Jamie, Coach Christopher Nimley. Nimley and Yao will join us in a bit. Manuel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi Ben. What's up?
I'm good. Let's get into talk of the Manchester derby. Game is just about wrapping up. Man United with the upper hand. Brian Mbeumo and Patrick Dorgu with the goals. Fernandes and Konya with the assist. This has turned out to be a pretty decent game. I don't know who predicted a win for United when we were on Panorama yesterday. I don't know if any of you predicted a win for them, but so far it's United who have taken charge, looked solid, built up properly, finished their goals, defended well. Let me start you on your thoughts, quick thoughts on if you are surprised by the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, definitely surprised. Coming into this game, I did not think that because of all the, I'd say, turmoil that had been around United, I didn't think that they'd be able to come up with a game plan to stop Man City, especially when you look at the form that City were in, winning both their games in the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. So for United to be 2-0 up on home turf, I think that's a very impressive result. It's a wonderful start for Carrick. I think this is exactly what he would have wanted coming into this game, because there's been a lot of talk about how this is just United going back to their same old tried and tested model, where as soon as the season is not going well, they try and bring in someone who has a link to United, as if that would immediately be the the solve of all their problems. But it looks like, at least if this game is anything to go by, it looks like United look at least a little rejuvenated. And I don't know whether it's a new manager bounce, but how do you call it? Regardless of that, it's still an impressive result.
So impressive so far. It's 84 minutes played. Yeah, you've been following the game for a bit. Surprising, Patrick Dorgu getting into the box and scoring. And if you look at how he started out this game, actually started out as a left winger of some sort. Luke Shaw started out at the left back position. So immediately Carrick making some shape changes. I think he went with a 4-2-3-1. Looked like that. And looks like it's yielded results. Players who were being consistently bashed under the former regime already have goals under their belt.
Oh yes, and I think this clearly is down to Pep Guardiola, and yes, I have to give credit to Michael Carrick because he made some bold calls. Starting Kobe Mainoo in this game, starting Harry Maguire in this game, dropping Cunha to the bench, one of the better performers in this Man United side that has largely frustrating to watch and frustrated their fans. Dropping Benjamin Sesko to the bench. Now, it wouldn't in the larger context. It's not a surprise to drop Benjamin Sesko to the bench and start him off the bench. But you have to consider in their game against Burnley, he scored twice. He scored a brace, and in their last game, that got them to also. I think they lost in their last game. He got a goal. The consolation goal in there. So he was in good form. He was getting some goals in there, and he looked to be getting his wits about him in terms of how he normally performs for club and country. And so to drop an informed player and start in Mbeumo just after he returned from the AFCON, that for me was a big call. And honestly, I have to give credit to Michael Carrick. And on top of that, the tactical setup, playing Patrick Dorgu as a left winger, on top of having Amad Diallo as an inverted right winger because he is left-footed. I thought.
So I think the sound is better now. For those who are complaining on YouTube, I think it's been rectified now.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, look, the setup is imbalanced, tactically imbalanced, because you have Patrick Dorgu as an out-and-out orthodox left winger. Then you have an inverted right winger, a left-footed player who is playing as an inverted right winger. For me, the tactical balance looked a bit off, but he's been able to get it to work, and that for me is quite impressive. But on the flip
Jim
side,
looks impressed in the stands. He's
Yeah.
shaking his head. Looks like Carrick, you might be the guy.
Oh no, this is too early. I mean, you have to wait till the end of the season to do a proper review to know that if he is the guy or if he is not the guy. But back to the game. Yes, I've given credit to Michael Carrick, and it is due. But on the flip side, I'll have to look at Pep Guardiola and ask myself if he was too arrogant with his selection. We sat here last night, and I said that playing Rodri as the sole pivot is a no-no. In this game, playing Rodri as the sole pivot is a no-no. He is not the same guy as he was, 2 seasons ago. He's coming off a major injury. Even after returning, he's had some setbacks.
Yeah.
He's lost a bit of pop. He wasn't the fastest guy anyway, even before the injury. And now he's recovered from that big major injury. He suffered some setbacks, and you want to play him as a sole pivot in this kind of game, a game that Man United would, no matter how poor, no matter how bad, no matter how frustrating they have been over the past month, they will definitely be pumped to play this game at their home against Man City. They're still noisy neighbors. They will definitely be pumped. And once you have a situation like that, the energy will be there, and they'll be running all over the pitch, chasing loose balls, trying as much as possible to push the envelope. You don't play Rodri as the sole pivot. So I was expecting him to drop one of his two creative midfielders and play just one, and pair Rodri with Tijani Reinders, who is athletic, who is fast and strong enough to be able to deal with the physicality that the Manchester United folks would offer.
Oh! Diallo.
That was a very good effort.
He should have finished that. I think he did well.
Yeah.
Defender did well too. Defender did well to force him onto his right foot.
Yeah, kept on pushing him out wide, and on top of that, onto his right foot.
That deserved a goal.
Yeah, that definitely deserved a goal.
Wow.
If you're able to beat Donnarumma from that range, yeah, that means it was a quality strike. It was really a quality strike. It's unfortunate that Amad Diallo couldn't get that goal to cap what has been a very good performance so far in this game. But for me, like I was saying,
not to criticize Amorim again, but isn't it nice to see Ahmad being used in a more forward line and a more forward role, sort of like the way he's used for Cote d'Ivoire as opposed to being used as a wing back. Even Dogu in the game, rather than being used as a wing back, I think he's being used almost like
he's a left winger today
as a forward. And I don't want to say that the system held them back, but it looks like, at least on this game's evidence, they look more helpful to the position in these attacking positions.
Look at this again, and he went all the way. He should have finished this.
I think Donnarumma got a touch on that.
Perhaps, yeah. Looks like slightly might have tipped his finger, slightly.
How was that called as a penalty
Slightly
against Levante?
Yeah, this is a bad penalty too, actually. So Real Madrid have a penalty. I think Mbappe went into the box, stepped over. And I thought it was a corner or a goal kick. I'm not sure how that is a penalty. We need to see a review of that sequence again. But
I think they're still reviewing it. But the referee has signaled that it's a penalty. I think so. They are reviewing it, and yeah, they'll give him a call.
I am beginning to buy into the people who said that Real Madrid were getting a lot of soft penalties. I feel like a lot of those penalties also papered over how bad the team was. So there were a couple of games where they were either heading for a
draw or a draw.
Then they would get a late penalty and it will rescue 3 points for them. Kept shoring up their results, kept making sure that they were in touch with the top bracket of the league. But in essence,
another big chance for United here.
This is Man United have scored a third goal. It's 3-0. Wow.
It was a tight offside call. That was a good move.
Oh man. Looks like they might do a review. No, it looks like this has been accepted. It's a goal.
No.
It's a goal. It's 3-0.
And
Manchester
it looks like
City
the penalty too has also been accepted.
Mbappe with the penalty for Real Madrid. Easy does it. 1-0. Real Madrid lead in this one against Levante. Alex Ferguson cannot hide his happiness. He is over the moon. When was the last time United beat City 3-0?
The last time they scored 3, it was a comeback, but Man City ended up scoring 2. Yeah. That Paul Pogba comeback, 3-2. Yeah, that's the last time I remember Man United getting 3 goals.
I think Ole got 3. I'll check that, but I think there was a point where Ole had
that was 3-1.
I think that was the League Cup.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I'll cross check that. Yeah, it's onside.
It's onside.
Really good move down to
United. Was he behind the ball? Okay, yes, he was.
United look like a completely different team.
I mean, I don't want to blame the formation, but they look more efficient with Father. But obviously, Amorim tried that, but he's played certain players in different positions, and it looks like it's having a good effect on them. This is a really good move, and a 3-0 win against Man City, title challenging Man City.
And Man City have looked toothless in this game, completely. Yeah.
Also key to point out that when Casemiro is not the only man, so when he had to play the 3-back, he had to play Casemiro and Fernandes in the midfield. But being able to play 4-back means he can play Casemiro with Menu, and that allows Fernandes to go back and play as a 10.
Actually played as a 10 today, got an assist. Meno back in the side. Yeah, quick thoughts on that. So Carrick seems to fancy Meno, and I heard him say that he doesn't fancy Meno as a 6, like how he's been profiled in the past, and he thinks that Meno has good technique and good attacking instincts that are being underutilized. I don't know how that fits in.
Well, I still think he's best used as a 6, because when you want to use him as an 8, then the 6 must be an ultra top level athletic guy who can cover a lot of distance. That's the best way to use him if you are using him as an 8. And if you are using him as an 8, he is not the guy that
was been ruled out for offside.
come
chalked
on.
off. Yeah,
So Man
offside.
United's third goal does not stand. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, so it's 2-0 in
for
that
Man
game.
United.
Yeah.
Yes, and if you want to use him as an 8, he's not the fastest guy to be able to be the one to arrive to the box late. Just as we saw of your typical number 8, like let's say a Frank Lampard, as Kai Havertz loves to profile himself as a guy who arrives to the box late, because he's not necessarily a 10, he's not a 9, but he's that kind of guy who can get you goals from that position. So for me, Kobe Mainoo's future it lies in the number 6 position, and as a deep line playmaker, not necessarily as a defensive midfielder, more like a register as the Italian folks say. So an Andrea Pirlo, that's how I see him. Then the best way to use him is by having, let's say, a guy who does the dirty work, the defensive midfield job, like a Gattuso, right next to him. Then you have a guy who can shuffle between the midfield and the defense, like a Clarence Seedorf. That's how best to be able to use Kobe Mainoo. I don't see him as a 10. I don't see him as an 8. I see him as a register, a deep line number 6, not necessarily a guy who is tasked with the responsibility of breaking down opposing attacks. And so for me, that's how I see him. But look, Man City, Pep Guardiola, I think he got too arrogant. He got too carried away with his personnel selection, with his tactics, the choice that he made. Because you look at the goals that Man United have scored, the 2 goals that Man United have scored, especially the first goal, they had a free kick. Man City had a free kick. They effected the free kick. There was a turnover in possession, and Man United just ran through the middle. And then Bruno Fernandes squared that ball to Brian Mbeumo, who took the ball home. And so what that tells me is that the midfield, there was not enough cover, because you are playing Phil Foden and you are playing Bernardo Silva. Alongside a largely hobbled Rodri. That's a no-no. No matter how poor this Man United team has been, especially this past month where they've been dropping points against the likes of Leeds United, Burnley, Brighton, you get it. For me, you still don't go and make such selection in terms of personnel. So that's why I say Pep Guardiola was a bit arrogant with his selection. And you look at the second goal, the marking was very, very loose. Nico O'Reilly couldn't get close enough to prevent that cross from getting in. Then you look at the opposite side, Rico Lewis slept on the job and allowed Patrick Dogu to ghost in and head that ball into the net. For me, it wasn't good enough. And at the end of the day, Rico Lewis couldn't get too close to Patrick Dogu.
The marking for that second goal was so bad, because Dogu literally came from their blind side all the way, just walked through and then poked the ball in.
And it wasn't the first time that Nico O'Reilly got beat, because he couldn't get too close to his marker. Because at the end of the day, he's on a yellow card. So if you get too close to the marker and you end up, getting your feet entangled a little bit, that's another foul and possibly another yellow card. Then you jeopardize the team's chances of potentially winning the game. So in that sense, he kept on backing off and leaving a little bit amount of space, and Amad Diallo utilized it. And in that sense, in that second goal, Cunha utilized it, and he goes there past him, he squared the ball, and guess what? Rico Lewis is also on a yellow card, so he also couldn't
which was a very foolish yellow card to go and end.
He also couldn't get close to his marker. But at the end of the day, Rico Lewis, how did he get the yellow card? Because he lost the ball. He saw Patrick Dogu.
Just give back the return ball. I don't know what he was trying to do.
Yes, because he saw Patrick Dogu galloping away, and so he had to pull him down. But if you had enough cover in midfield, let's say Tijani Reinders in there, pairing alongside Rodri, I mean, you could run the risk of letting him go at the end of the day, because you know that you are short of a little bit of proper defensive cover.
I think Real Madrid have scored again. Let's just follow the trajectory of this one. Dead ball situation, whipped into the box. Yes, it's goal number 2. It's goal number 2.
Asensio.
That looks like Asensio. Looks like it's 2-0 advantage Real Madrid. His mask even came off.
Yeah,
So
that's
who
a
knew
that's a
advantage
very, very good
I
goal.
think it was
Strong
that
header
Ada Goulet with the
corner.
Yeah.
Very, very good, powerful header
Very,
from way
very
back.
sweet cross.
Yeah,
United
very,
are
very
doing a
good.
little victory lap around Old Trafford. Florentino Perez looks like he's a little impressed by what is happening, but he knows that
It's
they are not,
just Levante.
they are not out of the woods
Oh
yet.
yeah, it's Levante.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. You have to give credit to Michael Carrick. Make some big calls. But like I said, on the flip side, yeah, Pep Guardiola, he will watch this game and honestly look at himself in the mirror and know that he really messed up with his tactics and the personnel for the game.
Well, in this game, I picked out Casemiro as one of my favorite players to watch in this game. Completely bossed that midfield. And that's the same midfield in which Rodri was involved. Manuel, quick thoughts on Rodri. I'm going to ask a simple question. Is it time for Manchester City to move on from Rodri? Because clearly, he's come back not the same player again. Doesn't have the same supporting cast around him. Should they start thinking about probably selling him off, moving away, and getting another player? Or you think that he'll probably grow in stature and in influence over time?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time, and you can see it in the way Guardiola himself has approached the issue. He, rather than initially when Rodri came back, he had a setback, which was a knee injury, and since then Guardiola hasn't necessarily always tried to throw him in the deep end. I think his recovery could have been fast tracked, but he took his time to try and make sure that when he came back, he could be back for good. Recovering from an ACL injury is never easy. There have been a lot of players who have never actually been the same. As much as good as Chiesa has been for Liverpool, if you remember him from his Fiorentina and from his Juventus days, I don't think he's ever gone back to being the same player. I don't know whether that would
Has he been given a chance to be the same player? That's more the question. I feel like ever since he came to Liverpool, he's barely ever gotten. I don't think he's done 90 minutes 3 times. Back to back, like 3 games, 90 minutes. If you don't give a player that type of rhythm and game time, you should not expect it. I think that's just my opinion.
I mean, that's fair, and maybe the same can actually be said for Rodri, because there hasn't been I don't think that since he's been back, there's a point where he's gone maybe 5, 6, 7 games in different competitions, starting every.
I don't even think he's played 4 90-minute games. I don't think so since he came back, and I feel like that might not be injury management. It might be more the state of affairs of his body now following that injury. I don't know, but that's just
yeah. But I mean, to sell him off, they brought him in for a lot. I mean, just talking financially, they brought him in for a lot of money. He's a Ballon d'Or winner now, but even if they were to move him on, his value would have declined a lot. Especially if he's not willing to then sign a new contract, because I don't know how many years he has left on his deal, but he's been out injured for a long time, and that means a lot of time has expired on that deal. And in that time, if he hasn't played, it means his value hasn't necessarily gone up. So, given what he can be to this team, because the truth is that it means we either need to have two discussions. It's either we start asking why Guardiola's influence on English football or his dominance in English football has gone down. Last season, it felt like a blip. It felt like, Liverpool had run it. We're into 2 consecutive seasons now. This is the man who was bossing the league for fun. 100 points, 4 league titles in a row. 6 out of 7 years he's won the league. Why is it all of a sudden? Obviously, there's been a change in personnel. Sometimes you saw that with Ferguson as well, when he was changing his team around. So in between the team that competed with the Invincible team, the Van Nistelrooy and Roy Keane's team, switching that team over to Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney team. In between that's when Mourinho was able to come in and win his 2 league titles before United won 3 in a row. So maybe there's an argument that Guardiola is stuck in transition. But either he's lost his dominance on English football, or the main reason, at least, for post-Fernandinho, why City were able to dominate was obviously the brilliance of Rodri. And the fact that he hasn't been able to recapture that level has had an impact on City. I don't know which of the two is more likely. I don't know if it's a combination of the 2 factors coming together. But I think that they all realize the value of Rodri when he is fit and when he's in this team. And if it means that you have to take more time off, I think Gonzalez has been good, but obviously he's not been able to reach the levels of Rodri, and it meant that I think he hasn't been able to depend on him as much as he could when Rodri was at his best. If maybe the recruitment had been a little slightly better and they had been able to maybe get someone who could filled that position well. And I like there are a number of players in Europe that they probably could have looked at. Maybe financially would have been a different package, a much more expensive package than we're willing to put out at the time. I think at that position, if you are looking for the top, if people are quoting about 100 million for Baleba, I think that's probably in the price range that they'll be looking at. And if they expected Rodri to come back, I don't know if they'd be then willing to invest that much money in that position and then have the necessarily the competition. Because if Rodri comes back and he's back to his best, he definitely starts. What do you then do with if you've invested that much in someone else to fill that vacancy while he's not there? But if that had happened, it would have meant that they would have been able to give him some time. That meant that they would have been able to give him some time and then just they would have been able to give him some time and just let him come back at his own pace, and then gradually, like the way Guardiola is trying to do, he plays him in certain games, he takes him off, he gives him 60, 50 minutes. Because for City to get back to their best with this same team, I think they need Rodri to also get back to his best. And so far, it doesn't seem like, at least because of his fitness, it doesn't seem like he'll be able to get there.
I was going to ask you, but coach has just joined the conversation. United have won convincingly, 2-0 is how it ended. They had a third goal that was chalked off. Looked like they were going to have a full-blown party. But great start for Michael Carrick. Dominant game for Man United. Barely had Manchester City doing anything dangerous. I'll pick out the stats for you in a bit, but your impressions on how this one has gone.
Wow. You remember yesterday on Sports Panorama? I did say that although Man City starts the game as favorite, but this is the sort of game that you wouldn't want to bet against Manchester United. Again, nobody should get carried away. It's the same crop of players. Maybe you saw the mentality of Brandon Bomo.
Yeah.
You
Patrick
saw
Dogu played as a left winger.
Yeah, he did so well. Matthias Cunha came on. He did so well. So this Lisandro Martinez is also a very good player. But it's not about winning 1 or 2 big games. It's about being consistent.
Going on the streak.
I'm not surprised they've won this.
7 wins.
Even when Amorim came last season and he had his worst ever season, they went to the Etihad, you remember? And they beat Man City at the Etihad last season. One of the most convincing performance I saw under Amorim. So don't get carried away. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good result because they should be pushing for Champions League football. That is where the likes of Baleba and Co will see the need to join the team. So it is very good you've won this. But you see them again next week. They play Arsenal next week. They will come, even if they were to lose, one thing that you will never question is their desire to play in the big games. But after playing against Arsenal and Man City,
Play against Burnley.
then you go and play against Burnley.
And you draw.
Then you go and draw. You go and play against Wolverhampton. Then you draw.
Leeds.
You go and play against Leeds. Then you draw. You take 2 steps forward. You take 3 steps backwards. So in a nutshell, it's retrogression. It's not progression. So yesterday when I sat here, you remember I said something that I was waiting to see what Michael Carrick would do. I wanted to see where he would play Bruno Fernandes. I wanted to see whether Kobe Menu would start. And I made mention of Sesko, Ahmad, Mbomo, Matthias Cunha. How would he start them? You add Bruno to the mix. In fact, to be honest, when I saw the lineup and I didn't see Matthias Cunha in the lineup, it didn't go down well with me. Because I believe he brings something very different. And against this Man City team, I believe we needed somebody who, in addition to Ahmad, could carry the ball quicker.
Okay.
But when I watched the game, I saw that Carrick didn't opt for somebody who would carry the ball all by himself. He wanted somebody who could pass the ball quickly in space. So he took Bruno Fernandes into his favorite number 10 position. Look, in that entire first half, Man City had only 1 shot on target. It was a loose header. The United got 2 goals disallowed. They hit the bar. They created all the chances. So then I understood why he decided not to start Matthias Cunha. Šeško has been in decent form, but he benched him. When such players are benched, nobody packs comment. But when an English player is benched, then there's a problem. Today, Kobe Manu was given a start. I watched that first half.
Yeah.
He did really well. But at the end of the day, it's about the consistency. I'm used to Man United beating Man City out of nothing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time, United they were not losing to City.
They won 3 in a season, I think.
Yeah, bam, 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 back to back to back.
Even Ten Hag's FA Cup final.
FA Cup final. Ten Hag, you remember at Old Trafford? Man United were not losing such games. So it is not a game you want to overly jubilate because they've won. I want to see proper consistency. Michael Carrick himself will look at this. You don't doubt these players to put up a one-off performance. I'm used to this.
Can they change to get a good performance?
No, for Manchester United, the team is looking good because all of a sudden, Ahmad is back. And Bumo is back. Look at the bench. This bench that had nobody 2-3 weeks ago, already on the bench. When Ahmad and Bumo left, Bruno got injured. Mount got injured. So many injuries. So when Amorim puts up a team, on the bench is what? Fletcher B. Fletcher's son. His 2 sons are all on the bench. Even Kobe Manu himself, when it was a time that we all said that now that Bruno is injured, it's time for him to play, he also got injured. So there was no depth on the bench. So it's about the consistency. Am I happy they've won? Yes, of course, I'm happy they've won. But at the end of the day, it cannot be a one-off. You have to bring some consistency to your game.
Yep.
It's key. This is the most difficult league in the world. You cannot win one today, draw one tomorrow, lose 2, come and draw 1 before you win 1. You can't do that. If you've beaten Man City convincingly at Old Trafford, go to the Emirates, make sure you don't lose there. Go there and make sure you don't lose. Go and put up a fight. Even if you were to lose, let nobody watch the game and say, you guys didn't put any effort into that.
Real Madrid like behavior. Going to lose a game with minimal
Yes.
effort.
And at the end of the day, you want your players at this level to be consistent. But they are very bad performance. They have only 17 games to play. After this game, Man United, the whole season is left with 16 more games to play.
Somebody said in a
Because they've been knocked out in every cup competition.
Is it February or March? United have like 3 games within like almost like a 30 or 40 day period.
Yes.
I mean, they have 40 games for the whole season, 38 Premier League games. But knocked out of the EFL in the first
do you know
round.
what that does? It affects the fitness of the team. Somebody will say, but it makes them fresh. Yes, fresh, but not too fit.
I get what you mean.
You understand?
Yep.
You may not understand if you don't understand football.
I get what you mean.
They are fresh, but they are not fit.
At that point in the season, they want to be playing games.
You want to be playing more games, especially when you are not in Europe.
I'm quite sure that Arsenal at this point have already played more games than United will play throughout their whole season.
Definitely, because they're in the Champions League.
Still in all the other cup.
All the other cup competitions, they are in there. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a long way to go. They are thinking about taking Man United to Saudi to go and play for money. Because I think, like you rightly said, there will be a time in the season. Everybody see, anytime they play, anytime there's an FA Cup weekend, United don't have a game. So that means that they'll play a game in 14 days. It's not good for the
in
coach.
midweek as well, because other teams would have
Pure
have
vacation
Champions League.
vibes.
It is not good for the coach. You don't build during the season. You don't establish fitness by sitting out 14 days in between before you play one game. So typical of the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they are thinking about taking the team when there's an FA Cup weekend and they don't have a game. They'll fly them to Saudi to go and play for money.
Playing exhibition games.
Can you imagine?
Within the season.
Whilst the season, your coach, your peers are playing the Champions League.
I mean, but just on the go, that's a wonderful counter if you see where they start from.
No, United.
And then
who had the ball there?
Fernandes. Just ran with the ball.
So look at that again.
Look at the run.
So intelligent.
Look at the run of Mbumo.
And look at Bruno Fernandes, right? He's looking like he's going to go that
way.
Yeah,
so he took the other.
Look, this guy, I don't know about.
And you can see Cousin on his body.
I will take this guy in my team today, next week, 2 times next month, and forever and ever. Bruno Fernandes.
Look at
what
him.
a player.
He's looking at them.
What a player. Charlie. This guy. But that Ahmad counter-attack deserved a goal.
Yes.
That was so good. Like the hold-up play, the ability to hold off his defender and use his right, that deserved a goal. But United, in the end, proving that really they've been too strong for Manchester City today. Pep Guardiola looked completely bamboozled at the final whistle. Like you could tell that he knew that they were lucky to have gotten away with 2-0.
But at the end of the day, most people try to say that they've got too many injuries. Well, what are the injuries there?
They have quite a number of injuries, but some of those players are not even. Most of them are not even starters. So Mateo Kovacic hasn't been available for a long time. John Stones, same thing. Omar Mamouche AFCON, but even when he's around, he doesn't play.
He sits on the bench.
Oscar Bob has been out for long periods as well. Savinho is inconsequential when he plays. Mateus Nunes injured.
Okay, considered he's been their right back all season.
Yep. Then there's Ruben Diaz also out.
Yes.
Vardio with a broken leg.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then Nico Gonzalez with a knock.
So the injury part is mostly about their defense. Because if you notice, most of their Vardio would be starting. How do you call it? Ruben Diaz would be starting. Nunes would be starting. So that's 3 of their backline gone. And they have John Stones, who's obviously one of their better players. He has had injury issues as well.
John Stones hasn't played the whole season.
John Stones has been injured his whole Man City career. So as for him, I'd want to put
maybe the only 2 players I'll consider there is their 2 centre backs.
Yeah.
But you can.
No, but I mean, but at least maybe he's not a starter, but it reduces him to have like an option. So that means today he's starting with Kusanov and how do you call it? The Dutch boy.
Yeah.
The former Chelsea boy.
Man United for some time was
so they had to recall Max Allen.
Man United were playing with Heaven and Co.
Today, and even for United, right?
And
even United have had to shake up their back line a lot. So they had Diego Dalot today, Maguire, Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro has been
and Luke Shaw
has been injured all season, the whole of last season. So I mean, if you look,
I don't think it's an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse.
I don't think it's an excuse at all.
Rico Lewis, we all know he can play.
Yeah.
Ake is a starter.
Yep.
Kubanov plays.
Ake was terrible.
So if you look at in midfield, there was Foden, there was Semenyo, there was.
So he had Rodri pivot, Foden and Bernardo Silva.
Yes.
Doku and Semenyo on the sides, and then Haaland
on any day
leading the line.
On any day, these are the players he will start with in the big game.
Yep. I agree. So rightly beaten. Let's talk a bit about. Let me stay with you on that one. I was talking to the guys about Rodri and if it might just be time for Manchester City to let go of Rodri and move on from him.
No, how old is he? He's about 28 years.
But he's not looking like the same player.
Look, you and I know that he's come back from. He's not played football for close to
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
But you can clearly see on the ball, he's a good player. His reading of the game is absolutely good. What Pep should be doing to help him is to get somebody who will also be accustomed to winning the ball off him. I'm very sure that if the Gonzalez boy was not injured today, I'm sure he would have played the 2 of them. I'm very sure he would have played the 2 of them. Okay?
I think the midfield with Rodri, Gonzalez, and maybe Reinders is far more balanced than playing it with Foden and Bernardo.
So if you look at those that surrounded him today, they were not going to make him look good. They were not going to make him look good. But Chalibet Mbumo he's a clinical finisher.
He
gave Donnarumma no chance.
He's a serious player. He gave him no chance. Every aspect of the game, like energy, tracking down, crossing the ball.
He gave him no chance.
He's a serious
incredible
player.
technique as well.
Very
just on the turf. He kept the ball on the turf. and he hit it as
The
hard
combo,
as he could.
the combo of him and
Across him.
and Amad Diallo are superb for me. I love that combination. I love that combination. Every time they are on the counter attack, you need to just pray. You need to just pray that nothing will happen. Anyway, let me read a few of your messages coming in, and then we'll build up to some of the other matches. I'll give you more updates also on a couple of the matches coming up. Chelsea Brentford is at 3 p.m. We'll be getting into that in a bit. Sedo Bongo from FC Ayikuma says that Michael Carrick, our new Sir Alex today. Semenyo go hide. Joseph says, good afternoon, Ben and team. You are doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Coach Nimley always has excuses for Amorim. That coach is shambles and doesn't have to mention. He hasn't been mentioned in Man United's record, or should not be mentioned.
I'm not praising him here. I've said that even under him, United were beating Man City. That's the point I'm making. How is that a praise to the man?
It's a fact.
Just on the goal, you can see Lewis is unfamiliar playing right back. He hasn't played at right back the whole season.
But the centre backs were sleeping. The guy came from right behind him all the way through.
But that was a proper assist by Matthias Cunha.
The centre backs were sleeping, or whoever was supposed to be marking him. That was just very lackadaisical.
I mean, the space wasn't being marked, but the person man marking Lewis too.
Look at David Alaba coming on for Real Madrid.
What Ricolui should have been doing should have attacked the ball. He was ahead of Dogo.
Allowed him to come from behind you.
Dogo came
to come
from
and poke
behind.
the
He was
ball.
watching the ball.
No. That's just unacceptable.
Can we listen to Pep?
Yes, I think we can try and listen to the head coach of Man City. Let's see what he has to say.
United was in 10 years is the time we claim here that they were better. So nothing more to say. When a team is better, you have to accept it. You have the energy that we didn't have, and yeah, congratulate them.
So how were they able to, maybe not in terms of possession, but chances, how were they able to have the better of the match?
No, they had the chances at the end and the crosses, and of course the goals they conceded was poorly. You know that always United have been a transitional team, and we didn't control. But in general, we can talk about this action or the other action, or in the beginning of the game or whatever. So I think we had the duty to analyze the game in the general, and they were better.
They obviously wanted an intense physical game. They want to bring their crowd into it. Were you just not able at any point, maybe because you didn't keep the ball well enough, you just weren't able to take that heat out of the match?
But they started really strong. We lost 1 or 2 balls. The crowd is normal, so we played a derby. So in many years, they were behind and they play at home, a long week, new manager. So these kind of things are involved in a game. It's normal that will happen. But especially when we arrive many times in the final third to try to score, we never make a threat. We never make a crosses. We never make a movement to try to win that. So that is because also it's part of the energy. And it's not the energy. Also we talk is about win or duels. Always it's what do we do with the ball as well, not just without. And today they have a point higher than us.
So a very honest Pep Guardiola there, and echoing some of the thoughts we've shared here. He says today that his team were just clueless in the final third of the pitch. They didn't cross the ball well. They didn't know when to pass the ball. They didn't know when to move off the ball in a way that would create chances for the team. Basically describing how it played out on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my beliefs in football, that if you don't score a goal during the match, then if you lose, you don't really have anything to say. It's different if you're also attacking and creating your own chances, and unfortunately you couldn't put the chances away. And I think that's what he's trying to say, because the USA United had 2 goals allowed in the first half. They had a goal disallowed in the second half. Ahmad hit the bar. Like, they were all over.
This could easily have been 4-5.
This could have easily been a whole different scoreline. And I think he's humble enough to accept that while his team, maybe were favorites coming into this game, they didn't let that reflect on the pitch. And United are surprised, because he was asked a question yesterday just about how hard is it to play against a manager who you have so little information about. If you realize that against Chelsea too, he had a similar problem against Callum McFarlane. I think the Chelsea result was a little less unfortunate because it was a last-minute equalizer from Enzo Fernandez, and I think they probably deserve to win that match. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, when you're about to play against a manager that you have so little information about, his response was that you should focus on yourselves. And I don't think in this game City by themselves did enough to win the game, so they can have no complaints.
Well, thoughts on that Pep reaction?
Yeah, like he said, I mean, look, first and foremost, he admitted that Man United were better. And that once he admits that, it means he wouldn't have too much to say. You need to go back, look at the game, see where they were better. What can he do to address that in subsequent games? Was it a movement of the ball movement problem?
He says his team also lacked energy today.
Yes. In fact, that was very, very clear.
Very glaring.
Because when the game started, Man United just came at them just like that. And within the space of 1-2 minutes, they were hitting the bar from a Harry Maguire header and all that.
Donnarumma really saved this game.
Exactly. So as to why Man City would do that, or as to how they will come up and not be competitive in a derby game, shocking to me. I've seen Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola has coached this game several times, several years, and I've never seen them look so lackluster like this before. But you are not to say because of that you don't want to. Maybe Man United made them look like that. Man United compelled them look like that, and at the end of the day, it showed on the score sheet. The chances created by United were I couldn't believe it. There was a point in the game where I felt that, you remember yesterday, y'all did say that Man United will not win because they need more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before they score a goal.
True.
And in that phase, if you look at the chances, I was telling you that it looks like what you said yesterday is what is going to happen, because I didn't see Man City coming and playing the way they played in the first half. I didn't see them repeating that
in the second half.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I was shocked that Man City actually, in that entire 90 minutes, was a bit subdued. Even when they had the ball to pass around, there was no intensity. Players who on normal day would go past players as if they were not there, they couldn't do that. I watched Dogu against Dalot. He was just not being able to go past Dalot. And most often, anytime the ball went to him diagonally, he had the control of the ball, and Dalot would rush to close him down. He would wait for Dalot to come, and when Dalot come and faces him, he couldn't just go past him. And that was one of Man City creative area. I saw Semenyo. He was not fancying taking Luke Shaw onto the bar line. He was playing on the right-hand side of the attack as a right winger, and he felt comfortable rather bringing the ball onto his left foot and be doing the in-swinger. And these are things that Man United with Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez would deal with. Defenders they prefer search balls because they can see the ball and they know that their goal post is behind them, so they can attack. But if you look at the goal Man United scored, that Dogu goal, that cross from Matias Cunha, Rico Lewis had the ball in between he and his goal.
Very.
So he was torn.
You can easily put the ball in your own net. You understand? So again, these are the sort of things that maybe Pep will have to look at and seek to address, because look, they will need to put up some consistency. From the way they are playing, it doesn't look like they are a team. Arsenal win and they go 9 points clear.
Of course, like if Arteta doesn't win this league, he should get sacked. I have said it. He's my pick to win the league, and everything is pointing to the fact that
they'll win it.
They'll win it.
Well, at this point, if they don't win it, they've bottled it, and I can say it like loudly and confidently.
Because from the way they are playing, I don't see them losing 3 games. If they win today, it's a 9-point lead.
But you see, losing is not where the danger is. It's drawing games you don't need to
that's
draw.
fair. But then even if you draw 2 games in a row, if you are seeing they are not going to lose, even if they draw 2 games in a row, that takes it down maybe about 5 points.
Arsenal's problem has always been drawing games they don't need to be drawing. Like, especially in crunch times, they'll go and draw some Everton game somewhere, draw some Forest game somewhere, draw some those are
fair. I mean that is fair. But then you also need a chasing pack that is also putting up consistent performances. Villa haven't been able to do that, and that's no slight on them. They are still not yet at the stage where they can be competing properly for a Premier League title. And then now you're looking to Man City. And Man City, every 2 to 3 games, they go on a spell. Pep thinks that they've been able to fix it, and then they get 2 or 3 shocking results that bring them back to earth. Before the Christmas day, they drew 3 games in a row. Before Semenyo joined, before they went on the FA Cup run, they had already drawn 3 Premier League games in a row, and that's what gave Arsenal this.
Chelsea, they drew against 3 in a row.
Yeah, they do 3 in a row, and now to give Arsenal this lead at this stage of the season, when Arsenal, they could go and play Arsenal again, and then if Arsenal are able to win that game, the gap gets to 12 points. I think that at this point, for City or Aston Villa to be a consistent title challenger, they need to be able to put up at least a 10-game run, like the way Villa did. When Villa won 11 games in a row, no competition.
That's what I say. If you are a title challenger, minimum 5, you need to chain at least 5-6 games wins together. Anything other than that, you are not a contender. Anyway, let me just wrap up this United conversation with some statistics, and then we can move on to the 3 p.m. batch of matches. So United overall possession in the game had 31%. And 31.9. City has 68.1%. Meanwhile, if you look at XG, United had 2.03 to City's 0.45.
That's huge.
Crazy.
2.03 in one match. XG.
To 0.45. And then United had 11 shots with 7 on target.
There you go.
City, that's more than 50% of their shots.
Yes.
City had 7 shots and had just 1 on target. Now, if you look at touches inside the opposition box, United had 21. City had 35, but some way, somehow could do nothing with their touches in the opposing box. Now, you talk about corners. Man City has 6 corners to United's just 1. And then goalkeeper saves. Donnarumma was forced into 5 saves. Saint Lomans made just 1 save all game. You can talk about distance covered. 110.97 kilometers for United. 110.14 for City. So United covered slightly more ground. Now, I love the breakdown of the statistics here. You have walking, jogging, and sprinting. Now, if you look at the walking numbers, United walked for 34.66% of the game to City's 32.76. Jogging, United 56.13 to City's 58.38. And then sprinting, United 9.16 to City's 8.86. So United did a lot more high intensity sprints in the game. That showed as well. Then you could also talk about hitting the woodwork. United hit the woodwork twice in this game. We're offside 6 times. City didn't hit the woodwork at all, and we're offside just once. Just tells you how the trajectory of the game was going. So those are some of the numbers. Talk about backward passes. City had 108 backward passes. United had just 50 of those. Passing accuracy, though, City were superior, 89.7 to United's 79.7. City played almost twice as many total passes, 641 to United's 301. So this was a counter-attacking performance in all respects for Man United, and in the end, it was good enough to get them the W. So that's a big win for Michael Carrick. Congrats to him and his team. Let me read some messages, and then we'll get on to the other games happening. Liverpool, Burnley is just about to kick off. Ganubi Henry Mate inside La says Man United's problem is the so-called class of 92. They are good at sitting down as pundits and chastising most of the players. Nicky Butt and Scholes said Haaland will pick Martinez and run with him, but nothing happened. It's like the likes of Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Scholes, Butt, who are specialists in failure as coaches. They should shut up and allow the team to flourish. Good afternoon to you and the team. Captain from Accra says, we'll enjoy the moment as long as it lasts. Good afternoon and shout outs to Coach Nimley. Okay, so we'll get more messages in a bit. Let me get more YouTube comments to coming. This one here it says that Amorim Kabaite says that Amorim should be hired and fired again for wasting our time for 1 whole year. Didn't even give us a new manager bounce. It says Ofunu Amorim. Oh, this guy. More messages. Okay. Redeemer Selom says that this is an assist from Man United to Arsenal to extend their lead at the top. Sweet Kwame says Rodri came back from an ACL injury and is always holding on to the ball way too long. I thought that too. I noticed. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe that they needed some kind of.
But that's always
control.
been his game. He picks up the ball very deep.
Yeah.
And he controls the game.
But I'm surprised because I feel like if you've come off an injury like that, you probably be a little scared of inviting more tackles.
And see, if he's holding on to the ball, he wasn't holding on to the ball because he was dribbling. Man United, if you realize, we're not employing the high press.
Okay.
So when he picks up the ball, there are space in front of him. He need to cover those spaces before he let go. So they were not that he was holding on to the ball and he was indulging in unnecessary antics with it. He will wait for the pass. Don't forget, He's a Spanish international.
That's his game, really.
That's his game.
That's his game. Let me get more. Let's get into that Chelsea Brentford game. Let me get to the lineups right now. So 4-2-3-1 is how Chelsea start this game. Sanchez is in post. Kukurea is a left back. Tosin will be partnered by Tosin and Chaloba. The slow walker. He and Chaloba are in the heart of defense. Rhys James is a right back today. Caicedo and Fernandes make up the holding midfield. Garnacho, Palmer, and Neto. Garnacho, Palmer, Neto make up the front three. So Neto on the right, Garnacho on the left, Palmer through the middle, and then Joao Pedro will lead the line. When you go to Brentford, Kelleher is a post. Michael Coyote is a right back. Aya, Collins, and Henry complete the back four. Janelt and Yamuluk are the holding midfielders. Damsgaard, Jensen, and Kevin Schade. And then you have Igor Thiago leading the line, proven to be very formidable as far as this season is concerned. Let me start off with you, Maro, on this one. So Liam Rosinia looking to get another win, I believe. You are watching the Liverpool game and holding your mouth. We'll get to that game in a bit, but Chelsea, Brentford lineups are out. Huge game for them. They want to keep up with the pack. What do you expect from this one?
This should be a very interesting game. Brentford have probably been the surprise packages of the season. I think when they got rid of Thomas Frank, I think everyone thought that they were going to be one of the teams that were definitely going to struggle this season. And it didn't look like there were a lot of obvious candidates for relegation. So a lot of people just thought that they'd get relegated, but they've been on another level. Igor Thiago has been. I mean, it's a lot of penalties for me, but I feel like he's been one of the better. He's second on the goal scoring chart. Definitely one of the better strikers.
The goals he has scored have been some of the goals he scored. Yeah,
he's
really
got a
good
hat trick
goals.
and all that.
Yeah.
He's been real. I mean, and that's all. I've always said that's been Brentford's niche, because when they initially were in the championship, their striker was Oli Watkins, and he was banging them in, and then they lost him, and then they had to go and get Ivan Toney. And then when they lost Ivan Toney, rather than replicating that system, they tried to go for Wissa and Mbumo as their front men, and they've been able to replicate the trick again. Selling both of them in the same window, I thought that would be a big issue, because on top of losing your manager, to lose your two best players as well, I thought they would struggle. But it looks like Igor Thiago has come in and filled that spot really well. They are unbeaten in their last 6 games. They've won 5 of them in the Premier League, which I thought that going back all the way back to their defeat to Arsenal, which is understandable because Arsenal are clearly running away with this league. So I think that's impressive. Sitting in sixth, if I'm right, they're above Chelsea. I mean, they're above Chelsea in the table right now.
Brentford?
Yes.
Hold on, I'll get you that league table. So Brentford, they're currently in sixth. Chelsea are 7th, right below them.
So this is clearly
separated by 2 points.
By 2 points. If Brentford were able to win this, that would make it 5 points.
And Brentford have won 4 of their last 5 matches.
Yeah, they've been.
Chelsea
really
have
good
not
form.
won a single one of their last 5. That's just for context.
Yeah, so it's not an upset, but I'm expecting a Brentford win. I feel like the Chelsea owners have think it's a little too easy to manage a football club.
They think
with no disrespect to Liam Rosinia, but they think it's a bit. They think that if you just get somebody who understands how to call it the structure, tactics, and also kind of understands the structure of what they are trying to do. Listening to him speak, he said one thing. He mentioned that one of the benefits is he already understands Blueco. Like, he understands what they are trying to achieve over the next 10 years, which means that even when he was at Strasbourg, they have been pulling him aside for one-on-one talks just to how to call it, impart what
updating on what the structure of the franchise is like.
And I think obviously he might be successful. I'm not here to say that there's no way that you can go. He's a promising manager, but we've seen a lot of examples of this now. I'll use Xabi Alonso. Thomas Frank hasn't been sacked yet, but I'll put Thomas Frank in there. I would put Ruben Amorim there. Even Graham Potter when he was at Brighton. These are managers who were on proper trajectories, who were slated to be top. De Zerbi, he's at Marseille, is doing okay. But De Zerbi, but I mean, these are managers who were slated to be the next big thing. If they had stayed on the path of learning the job and being at the club that they are and picking up their lessons, I think they would have gone very far. But then you see it in the case of Amorim and Potter, they they were given a jump, a promotion to a different level, whether you can cope with the pressure or not. And at that level, it goes beyond tactics and just man management. The players you were managing were, if I may, they were League 1, League 2 players, Championship players who are trying to earn money for a living, and they are giving everything for football because that's their life. Now you are here and you are meeting entitled 19-year-olds who make more money, who are on like 200, 300,000 K, who are now wondering why I should listen to you. And at that point, once you take that risk and go up to that level, if you are not able to be immediately successful, that's why I like to credit Maresca. He took the jump from Leicester to Chelsea, and immediately he won trophies. He was able to justify why the risk was taken on him. But if you are not able to do that immediately, then people are starting, why are we even listening to him? This person hasn't won anything. Why are we wasting so much time on this manager? So, how do you call it? I think Chelsea initially getting to grips with Rosinia, if he's not given enough time, I think he might struggle initially, just like most managers do. Even the best managers, even Pep Guardiola goes through spells where he struggles. But the problem with Guardiola is he has so much credit in the bank that he can go through that. And you could see that with when Klopp was also going through certain struggles at Liverpool. There were seasons where he was barely scraping the Champions League. Again, the year where Alisson scored that winning header, the way they were just to get them into the Champions League. I don't think that other clubs would have been tolerated. But just because of how much credit he has, he was able to outlast that. Rosinia doesn't have a lot of credits in the bank at all, if any. And these are some of the games that I think that if he's not able to tactically come up with a plan to stop one of the most informed teams in the Premier League, it might start to have an adverse effect on how people regard him already, because already his stock is not as high as it could be. But back to this game, I'm expecting like I'm saying, not an upset, because Brentford are higher than Chelsea in the table. I'm expecting a Brentford win.
Coach, I don't know if you shared those sentiments, but Rosinia has made his changes. He is tasked with helping a team that's low in confidence. Now, like I said, they haven't won a single game in their last 5. Can he turn this around?
He should be. I don't know. I think Chelsea's biggest problem under the current group of players, the fact that, like I highlighted for Manchester United, they know how to play the big games. I mean, the big games, they really do
They
tend
barely
to
ever lose or are dominated in big games.
Yeah, in big games. It is their temperament or their mentality regarding such games. That's where they've been found wanting in recent times. Because during the days of Didier Drogba and co, whenever the small teams come around, they get beat. Okay? And when the big boys also come around,
They get beat as
they
well.
also get beat as well. And I don't know, but if you look at what Chelsea themselves have been doing, it's like the Todd Bowley and his people, they are not interested in winning trophies, or they are not interested in building a team that will have that level of dominance that others seem to crave in this league. So they are very okay once the players are
Win a
playing
few
and
trophies
they are
here
able
and
to win
there,
and
can
then
sell
the
players.
and make money. This is not Chelsea. This is not the ambition of Chelsea. This is not Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. No, not at all. And for me, that's what makes it very, very disappointing. Because if you look at the lineup here, you don't use the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Pedro, João Pedro and co to believe that you have what it takes to win the league. No. Tosin, Aderabio, and then, no, come on, man. These are substandard players. They are players that can keep you in the league, yes. They may get you top 4, yes. But they don't have what it takes
These
to
are world
win.
champions.
No, world champions. How many games did they play to win the world? It's like
I mean,
tournament-
that you can use the same argument for a World Cup.
Tournament football. I mean, this is the proper litmus test. So, this is the proper litmus, not the World Cup, not
World Cup.
No, but this is the proper litmus test. If you can play 38 games, 38 solid
The
games,
test of consistency, a
and you're
test
able
of
to
character.
play, you know that yes.
Well, it looks like, wow, Brentford nearly gave away a goal.
What sort
with
of defender
a
was
very, very, very poor back pass that Garnacho nearly took advantage of. Let's see it again. Very casual back pass. Goalkeeper had to quickly run out. Wow.
Yeah, he committed himself really well, Kelleher.
Wow. Kelleher doing Brentford a favor there. But let's talk about Liverpool now, because we'll be keeping an eye on both games. Let's get to the lineup for that Liverpool game. So 4-2-3-1 for Liverpool as well. Alisson Becker as in post. Kerkez, Van Dijk, Konate, and Frimpong.
Chelsea for penalty. Ding, ding, ding.
Soboslai and Ryan Gravenberch holding the middle of the pack. Gakpo, Jones, and Wirtz, and then Ekitike playing on top. Wirtz has been moved to the right side.
I think it comes back to, remember when Salah went out, and rather than replace him with a winger, he chose to go for more midfielders, and I think he's still persisting with that. So Wirtz still drifts inwards, but when, the out of possession, then he does this defensive work on the right.
Let me ask you an honest question. Has this team gotten better without Mohamed Salah in the mix? Because he's about to come back. Have they gotten better like the debate raged before he went to the AFCON?
Not necessarily. I don't think
Pedro should be shown the yellow card for diving. I mean, what was that?
He knows it. Look at his
Even
face.
given a chance to score the ball, then you dive as if the guy has kicked you, and the replay shows that there wasn't even the slightest of contact. Oh, I'm very disappointed.
I think where they benefit from Salah not being around is given Wirtz more, or more responsibility in the game, and you see that more. So a lot of the times, the play that used to be run through Salah, you give the ball to Salah, and then often Salah would try something. Sometimes he even tries this trivela pass. Right now, it often goes to Wirtz, and it seems like he's the one who's being trusted more and more often to be the creative link between the midfield and the attack line. And I think that's how he struggles with when Salah is in that team, is you can't have two players who have that much free responsibility, and Wirtz is supposed to be the marquee signing. Same way I think he's also benefited, unfortunately, but from the injury to Isak, because it meant that Ekitike has been able to get a consistent run, of games as the striker, and that's also given him some form. He had his own injury problems, but he looks like he's back to being fit now. And better is not the word. I think they are different. And obviously the quality of Salah, that means that when he comes back to this team, he also brings a different element to the team. Sobosai has been incredible in midfield. I'd compare him to the way Valverde too has been used at Real Madrid, in the sense that it's clear he's clearly your best player, but just because he has that willingness and the hunger and that desire and that energy, you are willing to move him all around the play, from right back to the forward line to playing him in midfield. Whether or not that's fair on him himself, he hasn't complained much. He seems to be willing to take up whatever role the team gives them. And I think the fullbacks too have improved. Kekes looks a bit more calm, not necessarily better attacking, but he just looks more, when he had the ball initially throughout the season, he looked rushed. He looked rushed constantly, whereas there are times where he didn't have to play like he was under so much pressure. And Frimpong too has also become slightly better as an attacking threat. I think we need to also accept that is always going to be his best trait. The annoying thing is probably from a recruitment point of view is, why would you sell a fullback who his biggest flaw was he cannot defend, when you had Trent Alexander-Arnold at that right side? His biggest flaw is he cannot defend, and to then go and recruit a player who's the biggest trait is also that he is not very good defensively, and what he offers you is more in an attacking sense. It's slightly confusing. The injury to Conor Bradley is also going to be quite interesting, because that means that, same with their centre-back options now, unless they sign somebody during the window now, they don't have any alternatives to fall on. Van Dijk and Konate have played their probably 100th game in a row for the season now. They must be exhausted. I don't know why, if Gomez is fit, why he's not also being given the rotation, being put in the rotation more.
And why are Liverpool not talking about signings this January window? Because all the serious teams are making moves. Liverpool, they need about 3 signings into this team if they are to be taken seriously, even for top 4. But they are not moving.
I think their bet at the start of the season was that because of how much money we had spent, they spent about 450 million, getting 500 million. They probably thought that if they would be able to at least use that same squad to last throughout to the end of the season. And that doesn't seem to be the case. The injury to Leone meant that the centre-back option they signed has gone. I don't understand why if City are...
Hold your horses. Let me give you a quick update. So West Ham have scored away from home against Tottenham. Crescencio Somerville 1-0. 15 minutes played. Thomas Frank is definitely getting fired.
I mean,
I've been saying that for a minute now. He's definitely getting fired. Anyway, yes, make your point.
I think just on the West Ham bits, that's an improved performance for them. It's very surprising to go to have two relegation 6-pointers against, to lose to Wolverhampton Wanderers and then to lose to Nottingham Forest while you are in the relegation zone. I don't like that. Was a surprising performance for me. I heard rumors that they were thinking about sacking Nuno, which I think he would become the first manager to be sacked by 2 Premier League clubs in the same season, which is but I don't think he's the problem, and I don't think if they sack him, they have someone else to replace him with. So that would be an issue. But just for Liverpool, the fullbacks, like I was saying, the fullbacks look like they are back, but the lack of options and the fact that the year he wants to is surprising to me. You're willing to pay 35 million for the player in the summer. Okay, things didn't work out. Fast forward to January, where you now realize that actually we need you more than we thought we actually realized. Why not, at least of all, just match Man City's bid? And if he chooses Man City, that's fair enough. But to almost let it go and make it seem like, okay, we weren't able to get the sign because of a technicality, and now we are not even willing to reinvest our money in different parts of the field. That's surprising. Because like you said, they need cover at fullback. They definitely need cover at centre-back. And they probably, if they are
defensive midfield, possibly.
Defensive midfield too. Although Endo would be slightly upset that he hasn't been given a chance to show that he can play in that position. But if you don't trust Endo, then the option is probably to go into the market and look for someone else who can probably fill that position much better. So
I am definitely surprised at why Liverpool have still not fired Anna Slot, because look, I'm not even saying this out of emotion. Liverpool have drawn their last 3 games, and in the last 3 draws, 2 of those draws have been goalless draws. So Liverpool have not found the back of the net in 2 of those games. In that game against Fulham, they drew 2-2 as well. So if they don't get a game in this, if they don't get a win in this one, that's 4 draws on the bounce. And again, I'm saying this because we were led to believe that once Mohamed Salah is not in this team again, this team will be more fluid. They would score more. They would win more. No, I'm saying because he went to the AFCON and things have not been better for Liverpool. Unless I'm lying. If you look at the Leeds United draw, the Leeds United draw was, I believe...
That was a goalless draw.
Yes, it was a goalless draw. I want to check the date.
Fulham draw.
Just before, I think this was on the Thursday, 1st of January. Had he left for the AFCON? Yes.
The last game was the game with the Brighton game.
Good. So he had left at that time. And since he left, Liverpool's been struggling to win matches. If you look at the game before that, I think was Wolves. So they won against Wolves before that, and then won against Spurs away from home. Then before the Brighton game. So look, Liverpool have been struggling. I don't know how you're going to put it, but coach, for me, like I'm saying, I don't see anything changing with this team if they are going to continue playing like this. Cause it's the same tactics they are playing with since they started the season. They are playing the same personnel. Nothing radical has really changed.
I agree with you. I think at the end of the day, what Arne Slot is refusing to do, he's trying to admit that certain signings of his are just not doing the job. And he still thinks that the best way to get them to do the job is to force them in the team. You see, for Florian Wirtz, for example, look, he'll come up with a moment of brilliance, and then he will just fade out. It's about the consistency. I don't know why they didn't go for Magay. Yesterday when I saw the news, I couldn't believe it. I said, but why would you
completely drop the ball?
Allow your competitors to get even stronger.
Drop the
I think
ball
they
on
thought that because Gehi was going to get a lot of interest in the summer from how do you call it? Because
so
he could
pay
have
the money for
pay the money in January and take the player. 20 million pounds. 20 million. Oh, this is a player you could have bought for 20 million and easily sold for 80, 100 million 3 seasons down the line.
Exactly.
I think Hughes and what's his name, Edwards, have completely done Liverpool a disservice with how they've handled this situation. And John W. Henry should be calling them to a meeting and having them explain why they've let a top 3 centre back in the league who was going for 20 million slip through their fingers. It's very unpardonable for me. Like, it's one of the, and especially in the context of Liverpool's currency.
Yes, because you see, if you look at what they need, everybody can look at this Liverpool team that in a very good competitive game they will give some chances away. Don't get me wrong, teams do, but for them, the rate at which they tend to give chances away has been alarming. How old is Van Dijk now? 33, 34?
33. He should be turning 34 this year.
So there you go. He's clearly gone past his prime. Because he's not only gotten slower, he's gotten so easy to play against.
He's actually 34.
So you're turning 35 this year?
He'll be turning 35 this year.
Wow.
How did God miss this?
Brentford putting Chelsea under a lot of fire. Leah Brozinia's Chelsea. So we are monitoring 2 games, guys.
How did he not score this?
Yeah, we are monitoring the Chelsea versus Brentford game. That game is at Stamford Bridge, and then we're also keeping an eye out on Liverpool at home to Burnley. Now, Liverpool in their own game have had a few half chances in that box, but nothing really so far threatening. Yes, that's how it is so far. It's 21 minutes of action played in both matches, still goals.
How did that ball didn't end? I can't believe it.
The Brentford chance. I want to believe we'll get a chance to see it again so we can just recap that moment. I think it will show up very, very soon in a replay. Yes, so here we have it. Igor Thiago traps the ball through pass. I believe it's Kevin Schade. Oh, Kevin Schade.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I don't know if he was.
I think he was trying to find his teammate, but he should be shooting.
Yeah, that
Look
was.
at the pass. The pass went through the legs of Adil Rabiu. Oh,
Had
boy.
him lying down in green pastures, sliding all the way. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was a poor touch. I don't know.
Hey, it nearly resulted in an own goal.
I don't know if he was trying to square the ball.
Oh yeah,
off.
he was trying to square
was
the ball
trying to
because
square
he
the-
noticed that from that angle it would have been difficult to beat the keeper because there was a retreating defender too.
Yeah.
So it was going to be difficult. So
See, that's where
yeah,
composer comes in. Composer.
yeah, so he scored the ball, but it was just unfortunate that the defender stuck his leg out and managed to intercept that pass. And it almost ended up being an own goal, but for Robert Sanchez's save, it would have been an own goal, and Brentford would have been
Would have
leading.
taken the lead.
Yeah, they would have been leading this game at this point. But yeah,
I like them. They show no fear.
Impressive performance so far from Brentford. They have been good. They have been good.
Very impressive performance. And like we established, if you look at the form guides of the various teams coming into the league, the only team probably with a better form guide coming into this week is Arsenal. Arsenal have 4 wins on the bounce, and the last game was a draw. Brentford had 2 wins, a draw, and then 2 wins again. So form guide literally just about the same, or
And-
on par with the best team in the league.
And
now.
Brentford have surprised a lot of people, including yours truly, because looking at the players that they lost, the coach they lost, promoting Keith Andrews, who has a set piece, whose background is as a set piece coach.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of question marks about
Yeah.
about Brentford, and for them to be able to be ranked as high as they are right now, fifth place in the league. Yeah, it just tells me that they've had
United have gone above them the table. Well done.
well before
sorry.
the game. Oh, yeah, so
I was just giving credit to Michael Carrick. And
yeah.
United,
Before this Manchester derby that we just witnessed. So Brentford have been good and they have surprised a lot of people. And yeah, you have to look at how he's continued. Keith Andrews has continued with the work that Thomas Frank did before he left to join Tottenham Hotspur, and the fact that yes, he's also getting the benefit of Igor Thiago's brilliant start to life in the Premier League. He had an injury last season, and so he sat out for quite a long time. And he returned, and he's
But
been
the
able
Chelsea
to do
game
well.
is too too chaotic. What is this? Rosalind, no.
Too end to end for you.
No, it's too. I mean, there must be control, man. There's no control. Is it from Chelsea in particular? I mean, there's Caicedo there. There's
Fernandes
Enzo
and Caicedo,
Fernandes.
yeah.
Come on, they should be able to control it. There's Copama there. He's a controller, calm, cool,
Hey.
collected.
And I'm guessing this is happening because of Brentford, because Brentford don't play a controlled game.
No, they want the
They don't.
chaotic.
They want fast end-to-end, quick passes up the field so they can go and score. And Chelsea's playing the game into their hands. This is how they like to play their football. So Liam Rosinia will do well to stamp his authority on this team because, like Coach Riley mentioned, I think that for an away team, Brentford have had too many good clear-cut opportunities. They've had too much audacity in this game to come forward. So there's that as well. But
And a waiting that doesn't have the quality that Chelsea has. Yes, and a waiting that doesn't have the quality that Chelsea.
we have a goal. Do we?
Offside.
I think it's been chalked off. Joao Pedro thought he had given Chelsea.
And that would have been a giveaway because Brentford had the chance to clear the ball long time ago.
Yep. So offside flag up very quickly. I don't think this one will be debated very long. Look at this again. So
Did it not come off a Brentford player?
let's see that. Let's see that sequence again.
He's on.
Okay.
Hitting. That's what. Oh, he's off.
Did it come off Garnacho?
I think I'm trying to even see this.
Then he's off.
Okay, so off is he's definitely off. He's definitely off when he receives the ball.
He was ahead of the ball.
Yep, he
yes,
was ahead of the
then
ball.
it's offside.
Yeah, so referee, that's what I'm saying. It didn't even take too long to get this one out of the way. Very straightforward decision so far.
I think it's a bit tighter, but because there was a Brentford player that was just in line with him.
So they are reviewing the goal. We have a little review.
If you look at it, I think his shoulder
is off.
I think his shoulder is behind his.
The guy's hands are trailing. The Brentford player's hands are trailing.
But they also have to now draw the line on where the arm stops and where the arm starts.
This is before. This is when he was striking the ball.
No, this is when the ball is hitting Fernandes. The ball is on Fernandes. So
this is when he has struck the ball
Yeah.
to hit Fernandes, but he's off.
Don't they have a semi-automated offside?
It depends on the shoulder and the knee of João Pedro and the shoulder of I think Kyrie.
They should draw the lines. They should draw the lines and let us see all this, because that was a really well taken goal actually. Let's see.
It's a goal. Look on.
Goal in. Chelsea have taken the lead in a game where
it's a very fortunate goal, but
they've been under a lot of pressure. Like you said, this will be Brentford's fault. They had multiple chances to clear the ball. Some way, somehow, kept short-circuiting it, and then he came back.
That's a terrible clearance.
This decision is still very debatable for me. It's still very tight for me. This is not.
Because
I don't know, man.
They've taken this as a goal, then
the
Bruno Fernandes goal should have stood, because it was just like this.
Yeah.
Even not that, because
even the third goal that the United scored, the one that was allowed, that should have also stood.
Then that should have stood.
Yeah.
That's even more of that has even a better case than even the Bruno Fernandes one. The Mason Mount goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting decision.
If this stands, then that Mason Mount goal should have stood. For
Jeremy Frimpong was looking for his first Liverpool goal. But let's talk about that Liverpool game briefly, because Brentford have literally parked the bus in this game. As low a block as you can get, they are daring Liverpool to break them down. It's been Liverpool's problem all season, and
Burnley.
It looks like they are struggling again to break them down.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know, but Liverpool are virtually struggling. They themselves, they've lacked the quality in the final attacking third. The final ball has been missing, because if you have your opponent this close in defense, again a typical example, no final ball to throw. You understand? And for me, I
if you look at the Chelsea decision again,
the shoulder.
It's the shoulder, and it's where they determined where the the arm start from, where he can use to score.
They annoy me because every time they pick and choose what starts.
The problem is, if you notice, some Premier League teams back when it was the referee, they used to wear longer arm sleeves so that would fool the referee to think.
What is all of this?
Where the arm
There's too much ambiguity.
The coach is still complaining.
Because
there's too much ambiguity in this. I don't know, but it's such a gray area
he's
for
off
me.
all day. He's off.
I thought that was an offside. I don't know how that's a goal. Anyway, but Chelsea won't mind. It's 1-0 advantage. You're making a point about Liverpool.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, nobody seems to be a bit patient in the final attacking term, and that is exactly what Florian Wirtz is there to do. Okay, calm down, because the guys, they've got numbers in the box, they've got numbers behind the ball. So to break such a team that, you see, this is what I'm saying. No creativity, nothing. Just kicking the ball left, right, center.
And hoping for the best.
Yes, calm down. Calm down. No, come on, get up.
Penalty.
No, he didn't touch him. He didn't touch him.
This is not a penalty.
He didn't touch him. What? He didn't touch him at all.
Come
He
on,
didn't touch
man.
him.
I'm a
He didn't
Liverpool
touch
fan.
him.
Even I know this is not a penalty.
He didn't touch him.
Wow.
He didn't touch. Watch.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Watch. Is this a penalty? Is this a penalty?
Oh, man.
Look. Where's the penalty? Wait, look.
No.
This
This is a shameful
No.
This is the thing.
He was right in his view.
This is what I
He's
have
not
been
touching
saying.
anyway.
This is what I've been saying about Premier League referees.
No.
This is such a shameful
No.
decision.
This can never be a penalty.
Man.
And the problem with their decisions, once they give it, now he can't overturn it because it's not a clear and obvious error.
No, it's a clear and obvious. VAR should intervene. It's a
It's
clear
a
and
50-50
obvious
decision.
error.
It's a 50-50 decision that went his way. So VAR, I
How
don't
is
think
this
VAR
a 50-50 decision?
I don't agree with it, but that is what the referee has given, and they bagged him. I told you, there's no going to be an
I
inning
can't
review.
believe this.
I cannot believe I cannot believe.
I mean, but to be fair to Gakpo, his part was impeded.
What do you mean? Part is repeated away
is
from
impeded
goal.
to
Is
the
a
goal.
penalty? Is he going towards goal?
Come on, man.
Exactly. He's
He's
going
moving away from goal.
And the impediment wasn't hefty.
The irony is that
In terms of the contact.
I was quickly about to say get up, and then
Justice
God
has been served.
Justice has been served.
Justice has been served.
poetic
Bobo
justice.
Nafibano.
Poetic justice. What
Yes.
a terrible penalty that
Supposed
was.
like to
I saw like some free kick.
No, that's the way it is. That's the way it is.
You would
When you
have thought
get-
it was a free kick.
When you get a penalty you don't deserve, that's what happens.
That's what happened.
Why did he think he was effecting a free kick against
No,
Arsenal?
that's
or
it. That's it.
What was
That's
that?
it.
Oh no!
Oh come on, that is such poor.
He went way too under the ball.
Yeah, and opened up his body too much for a penalty.
Yeah.
Like what was that?
It was first of
Oh
all.
nah,
not
Sobo
even a
slide. This is
penalty.
not. This is very on Sobo slide. Like very very out of character. Like this. Nah.
I saw a similar penalty from Voltmada recently. I think it's the technique when you try and go into the top corner. If you get to
I mean,
just
there's
a
no
percent,
goalkeeper who would be able
yeah,
to
that's
go.
if he had been able to get you on target, it's
That
definitely
penalty,
a goal.
if you
but-
guy penalty, you can do, you can play it, you can keep it simple. Go
Yeah,
low,
I think he was a bit too laid
go
back.
midpoint.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm saying, he had like that David Beckham lean back posture when you're about who does that?
And with this, you see, that's the thing with, and that's why me and Ben were all disappointed with the penalty and coach
Yeah,
too.
man.
Because for a player with the ball striking technique that Soboslai has, he should be able to execute that Voltmada type of penalty. The ball striking technique that Soboslai has. Oh nah, this should be easy.
And you see, those penalties are risky anyway. Oh, to be honest, when those
Gakpo, you're not beating
high
anyone
into
with
the
that
roof,
kind
Look at Frimpong.
when those high into the roof penalties come off, they look great.
Oh, yeah.
But most often than not, you'll be like,
You can easily sky it.
should you be doing that? Like keep it low hard, keep it midpoint hard. Why are you trying to put the ball in the top corner? Ah man, I don't
But
know.
Gakpo,
Man.
really, no one. He's not beating any keeper from that end.
He's done it to go. He's
Wait,
scored a
he had
couple
this
of
kind
times
of
from there.
attempt, then the keeper must be sacked
I
from
mean-
that range. Then the keeper must be sacked in the Premier League at this point.
He's done it a couple of
Because
times. at
when he
Liverpool.
came initially, I remember he had a
Even
few of those
last
strikes.
season when he was
yeah.
having his good when he was doing a couple of
Those
times.
goals came a bit closer, but not from that far away out.
He
No.
believes in this technique.
If you're a goalkeeper in the Premier League and you are not impeded, your sight is not impeded, or your vision is not impeded,
Yeah.
and there's no deflection, and you get beat by a short attempt from that angle, from that distance, you shouldn't deserve to be in the Premier League. No way.
and Soboslai is having a good season, but this week he's had a couple of shocking decisions. In the midweek, how they call it, FA Cup game, he got in front of the keeper and tried to give a back heel, but it was a complete miss kick, and that's how they were able to get their goal. And today, this is an easy penalty for him, for someone who's the penalty taker for his country. I'm surprised that he went with that much power.
I mean, you
Well-
saw the free kick he scored against Arsenal in the first round.
Yeah.
Proper ball striking technique, and he couldn't score the.
He
I'm
took
very
this like he was
disappointed.
taking a free kick. I don't understand.
These are the reason why it's about Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Oh,
a simple
Salah,
goal.
power,
Salah is there.
corner.
You-
He even
This
go,
is a
can even
goal.
go down the middle.
1-0. This is a goal. Like if this is Salah, this is a goal. So it's interesting. I'm sure he's probably made his way to Liverpool already. I'm sure he's arrived.
No,
but
no. He
I
has to
understand.
stay.
Please give.
He has to
please.
stay.
Charlie, that game they need to scrap it.
Oh no.
Honestly.
Hey,
Nobody
see,
really wants to.
There's
play.
a reason why it is there because
There's
at the end of the
it's
day,
the most
because
Some money must be
no,
distributed. To,
yeah,
I
that's
get that.
one. And on top of that, let's take out Egypt and Nigeria from the equation. If let's say a Uganda ends up playing in this
I
game,
get where you're
it's
going.
a big deal.
I get where
If
you're
it's
going.
Comoros playing in this game, it's a big deal. Burkina Faso, big deal.
But then Nigeria and Egypt don't want to play this game.
Kenya, big deal. But the thing is, you can't pick and choose. That's
Right,
why
which is
rules
fair.
are rules.
Which is
Yeah,
fair,
you have
which
to
is fair.
insert it there to ensure that there's a bit of parity. So even if you don't want to, you have to. And even if you want to, you still have to do it.
I mean, to be fair, they could use the Olympic rule where once you get to the
Whoa.
semi-final, both how do you call it?
Penalty.
Brentford feel like
Hey,
That's a
penalty.
red
Hey,
card.
Kukaria, get up.
we have
That's
Kukaria.
a-
Kukaria
that's a
is
red.
always
Why is
involved
that a
in
red?
some skirmishes.
Or
Wait. Let's see what's going on. I think you get.
I mean, I think Cucurella is
Oh,
exaggerating. I think Cucurella is exaggerating a lot.
Cucurella learned that. He learned these things from Sergio Busquets. He definitely learned. He's a Barca boy, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a
La
Barca
Masia,
boy.
but then he ended up
He
playing for
definitely learned
Espanyol.
these things for Busquets. These are straight from the Busquets playbook.
But the people are complaining for a penalty.
I'm not sure what's going on in there.
I mean, he's being pulled back. He's
Are
clearly being
they
pulled
going
back.
to review that decision? Oh, this is a penalty.
He's clearly being pulled back. You can see
this
his
is a
shirt.
penalty. If they don't do anything about this, I'll be shocked. This is a penalty. Are they reviewing this decision?
No,
They
they don't look
Oh,
like they don't look
come
like
on.
they're reviewing.
Premier League officiating, man. Every single game week. Like, how do you have extra screens in the back room, extra cameras? Like, you have all the technological help you could possibly get. How do you miss this?
Roslin first tactical adjustment.
Yeah, they are
Writing
giving
it
the guy
on
a
the
note
paper
to-
and giving it over to Alejandro
The
Garnacho.
camera has given.
Yeah.
Charlie, hey, Paddy,
Guy.
Paddy,
But his swag is on point too. I mean,
Guy, oh, Charlie.
Yeah, thumbs up.
man.
We're good.
Oh, man. Interesting stuff.
is
going
he
on
sure
there.
that these guys understand what he's trying to say?
That's why he has
Because-
written it. That's why it's in detail.
Cucurella, second yellow card.
You see,
Red
these
card.
things, you see, these
Don't
things,
give
the players, they'll fake it. Oh, thumbs up, like, we understand.
Yeah.
Trust me, a lot of them don't understand. Even Marcelo admitted that, look, I'm not going to coaching because,
Is that how am I going- is this how am I going to explain
4-3-3? I just played the game. Like, Mario Balotelli said it several times.
I don't
that
understand
up
these
until
tactics,
he go
man.
Up until you go to OGC Nice,
Yeah.
where Lucien Favre broke down and taught him tactics.
Do you understand?
He didn't understand what was tactics. What is tactics?
he just
Play the
did it.
game. We just play. Have a natural feel to it and play.
Yeah. I feel like if there are 11 players on the pitch, the people who truly understand and can execute the manager, maybe 3 or 4. Maybe 3 or 4. Maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa! Most of them rely.
On instinct.
Yeah. Brentford wasted more opportunities. Yeah, who's that? More opportunities
Empty
wasted
net.
in the. Let's see this again.
What? Look.
Look at this again. Ball headed in.
Look.
Goodness gracious.
How do you miss this?
But it was on his weaker foot and it
Oh,
was a little
yeah,
behind.
I don't
him.
check the
Nobody
boy.
cares.
And he
the
shouldn't. He played it with his knee.
Nobody
His shin.
cares. It's 5 yards out. Nobody cares if it's on your weaker foot. If you need to hit the ball with your knees,
red
your
card.
elbow, whatever it is, I don't care. You need to finish the chance. He couldn't finish it, and that is a poor miss, in that situation. So it's still advantage Chelsea. Brentford though have had the better opportunities in this game. Some way, somehow, still down by a goal in this one. Yeah, thoughts on that missed chance. Brentford. Still definitely. Ooh, Milos Kerkez there.
Well, at least he got a little bit of the ball, so it's not as bad as it looked initially. But yeah, it's still egregious enough to get him a yellow card. If he had missed the ball completely, oh yeah, straightforward, that would have been a red card. But to the Brentford Chelsea game, yeah, and that chance, yeah, I think you guys are being a bit too harsh on him, because it was on his weaker foot. It looked like the ball was a little bit behind him. So he tried very well to keep, or did very well to keep his shot attempt on
Brentford are
target.
just missing chances.
Brentford, they are not serious at all.
Was that Yarnold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a poor miss. I don't know, but if you're a pro, I see me.
Because
there,
with a chance like this,
Listen.
he gets the ball first
listen,
time.
there are some chances. I don't care if.
And
you're
this
a
is on his
goalkeeper.
stronger foot, so he should probably
look,
score
look.
this.
You alone.
If you're a pro, there are some chances I don't expect you to miss, because you know one thing we always don't say here. Have you seen a goalpost before? Have you ever stood in a goalpost before?
It's quite big.
It's huge. Like I remember back in basic school, like we had a standard size.
that's
standard,
basic school,
Standard
but that
size
time you were
goalpost.
smallish. That time you were
No, but still,
smallish.
no. Even a full grown man, if you stand in a goalpost, like if you dive from end, you don't get to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Unless
Oh,
you are
no.
like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, unless you're Buffon or Couture.
The goalpost is huge. Like I always wonder why people get in front of the
That's
goalkeeper
Buffon, no, Donnarumma.
and kick the ball at the goalkeeper. Like there's so much space on either side to go to. That's just a poor miss. I don't know, but this game looks definitely far from over. Brentford look.
Yeah, another giveaway.
That's what coach was saying. Like the game is just very no control. You attack one, I attack one. You attack one, I attack one. So I mean, from a neutral standpoint, it's been brilliant. I wouldn't even lie. It's been brilliant. I've enjoyed what I've been watching so far. And
but Ben, the thing is, sometimes I think you're a bit too harsh on the pros, because if the post is big, yes, the goal is big, but at the same time, in real game, you are being pressured by your opposing defenders. There's a goalkeeper in there who would also apply pressure, because when they rush towards the ball, when you're about to, let's say you get a one-on-one, and they rush towards you, I mean, they put a lot of pressure on you. Goodness. And so in that sense, it makes your decision making a little. Oh, what a goal! Florent.
Yeah. Who got Ekitike should have scored that goal.
What a goal! He should have passed that ball.
Like, what was he doing?
He should have just cut it back.
I literally stopped watching the sequence. He got past his defender. Should have been squaring the ball, and I think he was trying to score from that angle. Like, why are you like this?
Yeah, he wanted to do an Isak. You remember what he did with Newcastle, and he ended up squaring the ball. Yeah, after that brilliant work.
Decisions.
That's a wonderful first touch. Yeah. He gets the ball. He beats his man. He gets the byline, and from literally the byline, he wants to score.
Yeah, why are you still running at the baseline?
Then one time, boom! Brilliant shot.
Is that his first Premier League goal?
No. I think this is second.
This is the second one.
This is interesting.
So Florian Wirtz getting his second Premier League goal.
But that's 4 goals and 4 assists in all competition. After not,
you are keeping track, wow.
No, he hadn't scored before the Wolves game, and now he scored in the FA Cup, scored in the not the FL, but he scored.
The FA Cup,
He scored in the FA Cup as well. So
actually,
that should be his 3rd Premier League goal.
I'll check that out in a bit. But Florian Wirtz getting Liverpool the lead. Hopefully, they can hold on to the lead. Liverpool have been very shaky every time they take a lead in recent times. So. Good way to round up the first half.
Yeah, so Ben, like I was saying, that sometimes you're a bit too harsh on the pros, because in real game time there are a lot of things happening. Even the weather sometimes can affect you. It's just like you know your basketball. It's just like you shooting 3-pointers during practice. You see them? They don't miss. But when you are in an arena, there's a referee in there. Opposing fans are yelling in your ear. There's a bench full of opposing players also yelling in your ear, talking trash to you. There's a hand in your face from an opposing player. It puts you off your rhythm. Even the best of the best. Even Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry doesn't miss when he's in practice shooting threes, but in games he does miss. So yeah, sometimes you have to lay off.
And to be fair to him, sometimes a lot of football is playing with peripheral vision, and sometimes just because the keeper is what you can see, there's a target in the goal. There are times where subconsciously I think they strike and they go for the target rather than going for the space at the other side of the target. But yeah, on Wirtz, just to revert back to Liverpool. I like
when you are tracking the numbers. When
it wasn't going well, I heard a lot. There was a lot that was being.
But is it going well now?
Well, it's not going well, but it's not going as bad as it used to. And I think we should just acknowledge.
It's true.
I think we just acknowledge where it is. It's not the best.
But it's better than what it used to be at the start of the season.
When they buy you for that kind of money, they think that you are like the best player in the Premier League type.
This is a person who got 9 goals and I think 10 assists last season. He's not in terms of numbers wise. Obviously, he's productive. I think what he brings is more of like the point guard.
But contest.
The point guard element and how they call it basketball.
An ACL injury, and he still managed to get you 9 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah.
So we're projecting,
and that's even the previous season when he led them to the.
So we're projecting that if you could do this after an ACL injury, then
I was about to say that 9 goals and 10 assists in the Bundesliga is.
In all competitions,
it's
not just the
5 goals
Bundesliga.
and 5 assists in the Premier League.
Thank you.
Because true, because in the Bundesliga, like we've always established, nobody defends in the Bundesliga. Like everybody plays
high line.
Everybody plays with a high line. Everybody's line is at the center circle. So like there's just, and you notice it from the scores. I'll give you updates on the scores today.
And the worst part is they play with a high line, and their defenders too are not fast. That's the
slow.
The central defenders, Jonathan Tah and co. And like they are not fast, but they play with a high line.
I'll give you an update of Bundesliga matches. Very high scoring games most of the time. But talking about the Bundesliga, let me just take you there real quick. Borussia Dortmund are up against St. Pauli. It's 2-0 advantage Dortmund. 56 minutes played. FC Cologne up against Mainz 05. It's 1-1 in that one. HSV up against Borussia Mönchengladbach, goalless in 57 minutes. Hoffenheim lead Leverkusen by a goal to nil. 58 minutes played. And then you have Wolfsburg and Heidenheim. 1-0 Heidenheim, the away side lead. We have RB Leipzig versus Bayern at 5:30. Big game. Should be interesting. Udine and Inter Milan are battling in the Serie A. Inter lead by 1-0. 86 minutes played in that game. I think that goal. I'm trying to see if I can get you that goal scorer. Liverpool have a counter, can get a goal here. Looks like they've botched it and they have chance eliminated. Really, that should have been a goal.
I think in the middle when Verde was the ball, he probably should
Look
have.
how the chance Garnacho has missed. La ilaha illallah.
That is 3 yards out. That's even worse than the Janelt miss. Yeah, Garnacho, he knows it. I like it when players are embarrassed by their own misses. Like they know the magnitude of how big that miss is.
You missed that.
Yeah. No, my good friends here say there are a lot of factors to be considered. So,
but this one is one of them.
I was only pointing out for when you put.
I'm just saying. No, I'm telling you, I don't pardon like 6-yard box misses. I'm not pardoning you. I don't care. Like I don't care if you are pressure. I don't care. 6-yard box. Finish the chance. Just finish the chance. That's why you get $100,000 a weekend. I do. Finish the chance. No, I'm serious. Finish the chance because you've trained all your life for this. You don't train all your life to miss chances in the 6-yard box. Come on. And it doesn't matter if you are a defender or a goalkeeper. I expect you to finish. Look at Florian Wirtz, Charlie goes do things so like walking off the pitch with some
the
swag.
camera is all around you. You are the main. You can see yourself on the big screen.
Oh man!
Just to confirm, that is his third Premier League goal. He scored in the game against Fulham after getting the game.
I think we have an equalizer or a penalty. But this is a penalty. I think that's a penalty.
He pulled him down.
That is definitely a
pulled
penalty.
him
If
down.
that's not a penalty, I'm done with the officials. That is
He
definitely a
pulled
penalty.
him down.
It's not a penalty.
What?
They are going for the corner.
Look, watch.
Oh,
watch,
come on.
watch.
Come on.
The problem with I think if we ran these stipulations because the player was
He's
able to
pushing
get
him
his
down
shot
all
away.
day.
Nope.
Why did he?
Why did he check the ball back? Hit it one time.
I don't think he should have taken the shot. The fact that he took the shot made the gives the referee the he played the advantage.
Oh,
But
but
they can go back.
no, by a penalty, it's a penalty.
Yeah,
You can
I
give
think
me
they are
advantage
checking.
treatment. Yeah,
The people are complaining that it's a penalty.
that's a penalty all day. There's no
He's
way.
waving it off.
There's
waving it
no
off. He's
way
waving
they
it
can do
off.
that.
Waved it off.
He's waving it off. Corner kick. Let's go.
The problem with at least with the Premier League stipulations is once the player was
sure.
able to get his shot away, it affects whether
What
the-
can shot away? There's penalty. The best person to score the goal has been
You
fouled.
know when an advantage passes, the referee can pull it.
Yeah, he can pull it back.
Especially in a penalty type situation.
Yeah, he can pull it
if
back.
if it is open play, you can let it go. Penalty and especially an off the ball incident. Come on, man. The officiating in this game has been something else. But Brentford definitely look like they can get something in this game. They've been all over Chelsea in this first half. I'm not sure why they've not scored. Chelsea themselves have had their own opportunities. Don't get me wrong, but very exciting game so far.
To be fair,
1-0.
looking at this game, I think I've been a little too critical of the AFCON referees. If this is the standard that
but
is in
Premier
the-
League referees have never been good. I mean, I don't even mince words when I talk about it. I always, like I've said here, they get into all the big tournaments and all the big matches because of how formidable their federation is and how powerful their federation is at UEFA. It has nothing to do with pure performance. If you watch the Italian Serie A more, Serie A have decent referees, but their reputation has been tarnished by all the Calciopoli and all them scandals that have hit the league. Spain have a couple of good referees as well, but a lot of their big referees have also been entangled in a lot of classical controversies, and so that affects their rating generally overall. But the Premier League officiating is just, man. Like, and I don't get it because, like I said, you have all the technological help in the world. People reviewing, some people talking in your ear, some people giving you extra screens. Some way, somehow, you still can't make proper decisions. I don't know. But
I think the thing that affects them is they're all kind of like mates. As to use the British term, they're all kind of like friends. So when your friend misses out on something, it's almost like you trust his rather than correcting him and saying like, oh, this is clearly a penalty, you made a mistake.
Yep.
You rather double down and back the position of your mate, because when you are on that position, you also expect that or you also
It
back me.
happens.
And there's a lot of obviously the criticism is because it's the Premier League, but there's a lot of time where there's and it's different because I think in Turkey and other countries you fear for your life. Like it's different standards to this, but for the Premier League it's just the criticism and the
Turkish league are probably worse than the Ghana Premier League when it comes to hooliganism. Like they are in their own world. That's
And
what they
referee
do.
integrity.
Yeah, they are in their own world.
I mean, they had over 100 referees being indicted for some corrupt deals and all. Oh no, they are far worse. Ghana Premier League is better.
They are in their own league as far as this is concerned. But let's do a quick run around of the scores, and then we'll get into some breakdown of the matches so far. So when you go to the other matches happening, for those of you who are just joining us, we are live on the Republic of Football. In fact, I think we should take a quick break here. When we come back, I'll get you through all the halftime scores. I'll take you to some of the other leagues. I'll update you on some transfer gossip because there's a lot flying around. We'll try and see if we can break down that Real Madrid game we saw earlier. Benjamin Nketiah here, Manuel Kwache, Yao Jemita, and Coach Christopher Nimley with me. Stay with us here. We'll be right back on the Republic of Football. Welcome back. It's the Republic of Football live here on 97.3. Benjamin Nketiah here. Manuel Kwache, Coach Christopher Nimley, and Yao Jamie in the studio with me. It's halftime in the 3 p.m. batch of matches. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about that Chelsea versus Brentford game. Very end-to-end game. Lots of drama, lots of talking points as well from that particular one. Yes, it's been a really good game. Let me start off with you, Coach, on that game. So Brentford have created as many chances as you possibly would like as a manager. Some way, somehow, they've not been able to put the ball in the back of the net. Lots of controversial decisions. Chelsea have also had their moments. Could have been 2-0 up, but it's still very finely poised. Could still go either way.
Yeah, you see, to be honest, like I said, when the game was ongoing, I mean, it is too open for my liking. You can't be playing football like that if you are a coach. On the part of Chelsea, if you look at the quality they've got in midfield, like I said, with the Enzo Fernandez, they should be able to, the Cole Palmers, they should be able to control a football game and stop it from being chaotic. But you could clearly see the end-to-end stuff. I mean, it's unacceptable. And if you're a coach, you don't want to have the game this stretch, this open. The game, actually, we should have had more than a goal in the game. And if you look at the goal that Chelsea scored, it was a complete giveaway by Brentford. They had about 2-3 chances to clear the ball away, and they didn't. And the defender cleared the ball, it ricocheted off Garnacho. It ended up being an assist for Joao Pedro. He turns, he blasts into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Chelsea. Brentford themselves have been extremely wasteful. Chelsea too, the same.
I'm trying to find their
so
XG
like I've
in
said,
this game.
We should have had about more than a goal.
Yep.
At
So
least
a
a 2-2, 2-1.
Easily could have had 4 goals.
The
in this
game, from the way it's been played, deserved more than just a goal. In that second half, the next goal, in my view, will be extremely very important. I think if Chelsea were to score the next goal, they have a cushion, and they will now have to control the game and then go forward. But if Brentford were to score, I don't know how Chelsea will respond, because don't forget, in midweek, they lost. When I said they, I'm referring to Chelsea. You don't want to
And to give you context, right? I think the last Brentford-Chelsea game ended in a crazy 2-2, I believe, where Brentford got a final equalizer to like snatch the win out of Chelsea's door.
Exactly. And you don't want that to happen. You have to play the game in such a way that you should give yourself the opportunity to take charge. And that I've not seen from Chelsea at all. Who knows? That could be the plan of the coach. Because when I watched them against Arsenal in midweek, in that Carabao Cup semi-final, it was extremely chaotic. So anytime Arsenal just took their time, took the steam out of the game, they were able to pass through Chelsea, and then bang, they scored. Especially that third goal by Zubimendi. It was absolutely a delight of a goal, because the team play, the ball watching on the part of the Chelsea players, because it was a bit more controlled, slowed down. They found it very difficult to switch in between the pace at which the game was being played, and all of a sudden Arsenal just took the steam out of the game and then passed the ball through them, and that ended up in the back of the net. You will have to calm down. They are in the lead. They'll have to acknowledge that there's something to protect. This manager will have to acknowledge that they've got something to protect, and therefore, if it ends 1-0, it's 3 points in the bag. I'm not saying he should come out there and defend, but what I'm saying is that players should be put, especially Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, should be put in their position that would allow them to stop the transitional play of Brentford, than put them in a situation where when Brentford are attacking, they will not be there and they will expose the back four. I have seen Tosin wear down as the game progresses. He normally will get tired after the 65th minute, 70th minute. He's normally tired, and if you are a manager, you have to keep that in check, and then make sure if there's a need to substitute him and bring a fresh player on to keep the pace and to keep the balance in defense, you have to do so. But so far, I think the game, from the neutral, you enjoyed it because it's end-to-end, but as a technical man, I just didn't like what I saw.
Chelsea need to be very careful in this game. Let me give you the head-to-head between the two teams in the last 5 games. So the last game played between them ended 2-2. Like I mentioned, that was, I believe, I believe this was August Yes,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Last minute equalizer
Yep.
from Cavallo. I think Caicedo scored in the 85th minute.
Yep.
Another very
Yep.
how do you call it, hectic game.
Before that, they drew goalless. Before that, Chelsea had won 2-1. Before that, they had drawn 2-2. And then Brentford had beaten them 2-0 and 2-0. So in the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the last 6 games, Chelsea have won just once against Brentford.
Yeah.
They've drawn, I believe, 2 of those. And then the others have gone in favor of Brentford. So Brentford definitely know how to beat Chelsea. And you can tell from how
They are
this
playing.
game has gone.
Yeah.
That perhaps with Ewisa and Mbeumo
Ivan
and Ivan Toney,
Maybe
this would
have
be
been
very
a
different.
completely different
Yeah.
story.
And I mean, I don't know what.
And shockingly,
what was in
their
it.
leading goal scorer has not been at the end of any of the chances yet.
Yeah.
But if
In fact, one of the chances that Janelt missed, he gave the through pass,
That's
and then
right.
Janelt went and missed the chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Liam Rosina is going to do with their midfield, but it looks like Caicedo, Enzo is constant. Caicedo, Fernandes. Now, if you want to continue playing Reece James in that midfield, it means you have to then move Cole Palmer out to the right hand side rather than playing him centrally. And I don't know if how tactically he might be willing to flip that, because I think sometimes it would make sense for for Palmer to be part of the midfield 3, so you can still have wingers like Garnacho and Pedro Neto and still have your striker. A bit like how he's he structured it today.
Yeah, let me take your thoughts on Brentford, Chelsea before the second half kicks off. Anything you expect to change? You think Brentford can come back into this game, make it a fight?
Oh yeah, they'll definitely make it a fight. They'll definitely make it a fight. I don't know if they can come back into this game based on how wasteful they've been in the first half, but they'll definitely make it a fight because it's part of who they are. They are a very scrappy side. No matter how poorly they play, no matter how well they play, they will always scrap for things. They will always scrap for goal chances. They will always scrap for possession, 50-50 challenges. So definitely they will make a fight out of this game and this second half. But yeah, you have to look at the efficiency again, and looking at how wasteful they were. You just have to ask or wonder if they can just be a little bit calm and composed in front of goal, and maybe just get a little bit of help from the officials in terms of being able to get a good number of free kicks or potentially a penalty.
That penalty shout
Yeah,
at the end
maybe
of the
that
first
too could help get them back into this game. So yeah, that's how I see this game panning out. They will definitely fight, but I don't know if they will be efficient enough to be able to convert one of the chances they'll create.
Did you see Alejandro Garnacho?
The guy just
Oh my goodness! It's kind of like when Carl Towns is trying to post up on Julius Randle. That's meme.
Yeah.
that's what just happened. He just trying to dribble past his marker. I think we'll see it again.
Oh no, this one.
I was just hoping they'll show it again. Try to step over and try to size up his
And he was
marker.
like-
He just stepped on the ball and Garnacho lost the possession. That was
he fell down.
that was hilarious.
I mean, he's a good player, but he's not.
He's not exceptional.
Nah.
You've been on this guy's cases. Allow Garnacho to flourish. You
I
know?
mean,
One time, Argentine
Liverpool
wonder
should be
kid.
very careful.
They need to. So in this second
I
half,
mean-
Burnley have abandoned their park the bus tactic because clearly they've conceded a goal. So
I mean, I've not been convinced by Burnley. They are in the Premier League. They've lost their last. They haven't won in their last 12 for a team that's battling relegation. And I think their last win, if I remember right, their last one was against Wolves, which doesn't really count. But and I don't know. They don't look. They look like they might pose a threat, but based on recent form,
yeah.
they don't. I don't think that they should be able to challenge Liverpool. I think it just comes down to Liverpool and being able to stay in games. They've had this thing too often.
Liverpool left
they had in
teams.
the Leeds game, the Fulham game. I think they were unlucky because that's an incredible strike from Harrison Reed.
In fact, this is Liverpool's story the whole season. Like they score and then they let opponents they don't ever close out the game. They just leave the door open for opponents, hang around, and then concede a late goal, and then sometimes either see out the draw or just nervously finish over the line in games. That's what's happening. So I don't know how you think they who took that corner.
Cody Gakpo.
Gakpo.
Hey, Charlie. Charlie, see, when you go to Sunday Stars, even Sunday Stars, these things don't happen there. Like, how can you take a corner like this as a professional? Oh, man. Anyway, it's 1-0 advantage Liverpool, 1-0 advantage Chelsea.
Surprised Vets doesn't take corners for Liverpool.
I'm equally surprised because he was a dead ball
specialist
for Leverkusen. But quick thoughts on Frimpong. I think that he has gradually gotten more decent over time. I'm still not convinced, but just in case you're wondering, the Egypt versus Nigeria game has started. It's kicked off. It's 5 minutes played. In that one, in the AFCON, is the third place game. So I'll be giving you updates from that particular game as we go along. So yes, there's that. But you're making a point. Frimpong. Yeah.
Frimpong, he's got better. He's got better. I think when he came initially, he got going just a bit, but then he struggled with an injury. Mm-hmm. But since he's recovered back from that, he looks like he's been able to fit into the team more. What I'll give him credit for is I think he has tactical adaptability. So you can see the different ways in which Slot has used him, and at first I think he's alternated the way him and Kerkez played. Kerkez used to be at some point Kerkez wasn't as attacking throughout the season. And it looks like he's been able to adapt that and just balance the defense in a way where Frimpong is the attacking outlet and Kerkez is the one that can play a bit more reserved. And I think that's had a good impact on him. He scored in the midweek in the FA Cup game that they played, and I think that'll always give him confidence.
Another big chance wasted. Look at Kevin Schade again. Another big chance wasted by Kevin Schade. So that's another chance wasted. Brentford have been so wasteful in this game.
But
they need to go out there. And
I'll give credit to Robert Sanchez though. I'll give credit to Robert Sanchez.
I get where you're coming from.
The chance that I wouldn't give credit to the goalkeeper for saving it, but I'd rather blast the forward for missing it would be the 2010 World Cup final. Iron Robin and Ike Casillas. It happened twice.
Yeah, I get what you
When you have all that time, all that space.
In fact, when you have more time, it's
more
difficult.
Yes, I know.
But you are in multiple minds. Should I chip him? Should I round him up? There's too many things going on in your mind.
But in this instance, I mean, Shada, he had Rhys James bearing down on his neck.
Composer.
And then you had Robert Sanchez just right in front of him. So, yeah, in that sense, I wouldn't blame him too much. But Robin's chance, I remember that 2010 final, that game. With his quality, I mean, Kevin Schade is not Iron Robin, so yeah, I can accommodate it. But when you are Iron Robin, and in that year, that form that he had, and you couldn't bury even one of those two chances 1-on-1, that for me, I wouldn't commend the goalkeeper for making the save. I would rather bash the player. But in this instance, yeah, I have to credit Robert Sanchez.
So Robert Sanchez sticking out the leg there, managing to keep his team, or basically keeping Chelsea's lead in that circumstance where Brentford keep coming forward and Chelsea are consistently needing to clear their lines. And so that game has been interesting. Let me go to other places real quick. Let's touch on some of the other games. So Forest will play Arsenal at 5:30. There's that to come. We'll touch on that really quickly before we go. Spurs still losing by 1-0. Kwache, thoughts on that game? So let me look at the lineup for Spurs. Lots of injuries for them, actually. But they are still losing this game. So when you look at their front line, Kolomwani is striking. Xavi Simons is a 10. Wilson Odobert and Matisse Tel. Archie Gray and Conor Gallagher. Christian Romero, Van de Ven, Ben Davis, Pedro Porro. Pretty solid lineup, regardless of all the injuries. Thoughts on that? Conor Gallagher thrown right into the mix.
Yeah, he's supposed to be that new spark into that midfield. Give them a different dimension to it, because we mentioned previously, and especially with the absence of Pep Matissa, they haven't really had a lot of variety in that midfield. You either have players who are very defensively solid or players who are too far attack-minded and do not offer enough balance to the team. So I think Gallagher at his best can offer a bit of both to them.
What is he, a box-to-box or a 6?
I'd say he's more of an 8. Yeah, I'd say maybe more of a hardcore an 8, lead dash into the box, but he can stay solidly and play with I think he plays better with another man in midfield. I don't know if he can necessarily be the anchor of the midfield, but how he fits into this first team he won't necessarily have to do that, because you usually have either Paulinho or Bentancur to play with, and he might be asked to offer a more not necessarily be the creative person, but be the person who goes further forward than either one of them when they play in midfield. Thomas Frank is at a position where if someone told you he'd been sacked right now, you'd probably believe it. You wouldn't question it. And I think that's always a dangerous position for a manager, when your results are so against you that it's almost like the next obvious point is, has he been sacked yet? Has he been sacked yet? And it looks like you are surviving game to game. And then soon you hear reports in the press about how he has 2 games to save his job, and it's a cycle that doesn't need to continue. I like listening to his point that he makes about how he came over and took over a team that was 17th best in the Premier League, and he got them into the top 10. That is what the point that he's trying to make. That's good as their expectations or their ambitions are. Spurs themselves, based on what they accomplished last season with almost the same group of players, and the players that has.
Or he needs reminding that they are currently 14th on the table. That's what he needs reminding on. And if AFC Bournemouth, if they lose this game and AFC Bournemouth win, they drop a step further. Bournemouth have a game in hand, and so I don't need to tell him that he's still flirting with that 17th position.
I mean, yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't think he's exceeded. His argument is that this team is probably on par with what they performed last season, and his job is to make them improve. And it looked like at the start of the season he had done that. Kudus looked like he was settling in really well, but I think his signings too haven't really helped him. If you looked at the players like Kolomwani, I can go confidently nominate him now for flop of the season with hard color when we are almost like 20-25 games. For a team that needs goals, they've had Solanke out for most of the season. Even Solanke, I don't think Thomas Frank himself necessarily trusted him that much. But then to be reliant on a player on Kolomwani, and a player who has only scored in 1 game, he's probably hit 20-25 games now for Spurs. For a player that's only scored in 1 game, any team that is reliant on a striker like that will struggle. Xavi Simons too, it took him a long while. It took him about 17 games to get going before he was able to have some impact. So if you look necessarily at the quality of the team that he has, like you're going through it, like Archie Gray, Bergvall, this is not, the quality is not as good as there's a lot of prospective talent that they hope will get better, but in the moment some of these players themselves are not necessarily delivering. On the West Ham side of it though, this, like I said, if they can hold on, this would be a very, very crucial win for them. I think that will take them to just 1 point out. They'd be 1 point off getting out of the relegation zone, which at this stage of the season, even though they are within a shout, given how they'd been playing up to this point in the season, it looked like a foregone conclusion that they'd win this game. The problem with Tottenham too is that they seem to be doing this a lot. So if you notice with the game that Bournemouth won, Semenyo's final game of the season, they hadn't won for 11 games until Tottenham came around. And West Ham too had not won for an extended period of time until Tottenham came around. It seems like teams can go on a bad run of form, but when they somehow meet Tottenham and Thomas Frank's team,
they will get a revival.
They're able to pick up a result. And I understand that coaches need time to implement their system. According to Thomas Frank again, he thinks that this is a better start than he had at Brentford and at Brøndby when he took over both clubs. And he's saying that for perspective to show that in time he can definitely still improve this team, even though the start looks shaky. But I don't know how long he will be given, especially for a team like Tottenham, where even if by their own admission, winning the Europa League is not success enough for us, we have bigger ambitions than that. And if you have a person who is not competing in the Champions League, who is clearly
Rosinia. Chale, note taking Rosinia. Rosinia has taken. Coach, you mentioned that Tosin has a thing for. Sorry about that. Has a thing for fading out of games. He's been yanked. Wesley Fofana has been brought in, and then Garnacho has also had a stinker of a game. He's been taken out as well. So Rosinia is man managing.
Yeah, he has to.
He's man managing. Quick thoughts on those subs. Fofana in for Tosin, and then I think they brought Andre Santos, a central defensive midfielder, in for Garnacho. Yeah,
it's a bit of a surprise. That doesn't mean that then
he's shutting up. Maybe he wants more control.
Neto goes to the left.
Possible. Palmer goes to the right.
that looks smaller, because if you look at the way Brentford have been coming at them, maybe it's a ploy to more or less stop the attacking spaces of Brentford. Because look, it's been so easy. Whenever they attack, they just go through
To the middle, yep.
They just go through them with some level of comfort, and then maybe it looks like he shifted Enzo to a number 10, and that will mean that they will play 3 very combative midfielders in midfield and see how best they can compete. Because until now, it looks like Brentford were looking the team most likely to score. And I'm happy that he's seen the need, or he's acknowledged the fact that they've got something to protect.
Yeah.
And because of that, you cannot allow the game to be that stretched. You have to protect what you have, because if it ends 1-0, Chelsea takes all the
Take all your
3
3
maximum
points.
points, and that is
And they haven't won in their last 5 games.
in their last 5 games. So that is a very good way of trying to actually make sure that if they don't score the next goal, they also don't concede the next one.
Yeah.
So, and that will ensure that they'll be in a position to win the game and take all the 3 maximum points. But there's a long way to go, because I think we are now entering the 60th minute
Yep,
mark.
we have about 30 minutes
more
plus,
minutes
probably
plus.
5 minutes, minimum.
Yeah.
So there's lots of football to play. Meanwhile, Liverpool are inviting pressure onto themselves in that game against Burnley. Burnley have woken up in this game. Their problem is the quality in the final third of the pitch.
They just don't have it.
Yeah, they don't.
They just don't have it.
Look, they are cheap strikers. So see, some of these people, they need to go. They need to employ me to scout for them. I'm telling you, I will find you a shrewd striker for cheap who will guarantee you 10 goals easy.
Oh
in
yeah,
a season.
yeah. Some are in Ghana, some are in other African
Plenty,
countries. But
plenty.
I don't know why. I think there's a stigma when it comes to African players. Like I compared to other players from other
They
African
will prefer you to go through
continents, because
yeah.
if it's South America,
Konate nearly put the ball in the zone. What was he? Was he passing the ball back? Was he? Burnley are knocking on Liverpool. This is what I told you.
I mean, but this is like you
Even
said,
look at
clearly
the
a
pass.
lack of quality.
Liv-
But that is a simple ball across a tap in. You are back a level.
I'm telling you, and Liverpool, like I said, have this thing in them this season where they score, go ahead, and then they
this is
completely
So he plays them onside and then
Yep.
runs back, and when the ball comes towards Konate, he then attempts to score the ball himself before
Marcus
before
Edwards.
Allison saves the ball.
Marcus
Very
Edwards. How can you give such an underhit cross?
He's left-footed. I will excuse him for that.
Well, true, yeah.
Konate.
I
knows
think
that-
Konate is
Is he-
tired.
Is he
Like-
holding the back of his tie?
Konate
Yeah.
or
He
Boakra.
fits, he fits, he
Boakra.
fits. He
See,
just-
that thing where players do where they try and feign
Fake
injury.
injury.
when you nearly cause that. Come on, man, don't even do this. Like you're not hurt.
Like they're embarrassed. So
Yeah,
in January
stay on your feet.
some injury.
No, don't do that. You're not. You're not
I like the
injured.
one where you commit a red card challenge and then you pretend that you're also injured as well.
Bro, stay on your feet and face the consequences of your actions. Why is
he
he
knows
doing
it.
that?
He knows it.
Yeah, he knows he should have squared that ball off better. That would have been 1-1. But that's literally what I've said. Coach, let me seek some tactical perspective on this. Liverpool getting ahead in games, not being able to control the tempo or shut up shop, and then basically they will be on the ropes all game and then be praying for the match to end. It's a feature I've seen all season, right from the opening day,
Yeah.
where Semenyo scored twice
Yes.
against them.
I don't know. Look, to be honest, I don't know, because in this game there's Gravenberg, there's Soboslai. You expect that these guys, by their quality, should be able to at least control the game in a way that will bring the best out of the team. But look at Burnley. Burnley are looking very
They are
confident.
not a serious team. If you could play football like this, you have no business parking the bus in the
At
beginning,
all.
especially away from home. No business. There's 1-1.
1-1.
That's where it is. This is what I was talking about.
Okay.
And it's Marcus Edwards
Look
again.
on his left foot.
Marcus Edwards again. You know the irony of Marcus Edwards is that he started his career
In
out
England.
at Spurs,
Yeah.
didn't cut
They
it, went
moved
to
over
Portugal,
Sporting Lisbon.
made his name with Amorim and Sporting Lisbon,
Then come
and then come back.
Wow.
That is a
But
fantastic
it was
thing.
too easy.
Yep. You see, that's what I was saying, that they look like a team, and every game I've watched them in this season, they are very enterprising going forward. It's just the final act of putting the ball in the back of the net. That is such a brilliant goal. Florentino is the one who made that pass.
Oof.
Yeah. Portuguese defensive midfielder brought in from, I believe, Benfica. Florentino there, white haired guy. That's a great finish. Alisson should be doing better though, because that ball was hit right at him. So 1-1.
This is the way. Once he decided to, he should have been using
his leg. Charlie. Decisions. 1-1 it is. Brentford or Burnley, have equalized against Liverpool. Meanwhile, Chelsea are doing their own thing. Kwachi looks a little shocked. Let me take your reaction of that goal on that one. 1-1, like I was saying, I knew it was coming, to be honest. I'm not even surprised, but your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant pattern too. I see the alertness to danger throughout the team seems to be missing. I think they have this habit of, you saw it in the goal that they conceded against Fulham as well, the last minute. They seem to be giving the midfielders who they don't think can do anything on the ball a lot of time and space. And rather than going man to man, they seem to be trying to block the space. So Konate was he could clearly see the run of Edwards, but he chose to stay off him until Edwards started making a run. And by the time he got across, it was too late. And there have been too many instances this season where you've seen Konate either rushing late to come and either commit a foul, or he is clearly in the wrong position, so the defender is able to take advantage of where he is. And yeah, like I think Liverpool, going back to I think Liverpool are just trying to see out the season now. Just trying to see what happens and assess their options at the end of the season.
You know how many games are left? How many games do we have left?
About 8.
Oh, this referee! How is this a foul?
How many games left?
I think it's about 8 in the Premier League season.
That's quite a lot.
About 16, maybe.
You can't be hoping to see out the season at 16 games. That you literally going to be on the ropes the whole second round.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's disappointing is the game that they've dropped results in. So you draw twice against Leeds United, you draw against Burnley. If this result holds, I think the Arsenal result was.
You can let that go.
A fair result. They didn't deserve to be in the game. They had one chance, the Conor Bradley chance that hit the bar. And if Arsenal had been more on their game that season, but I think Arsenal too were thinking that we've already lost to these people.
Arsenal
these are the league
Liverpool
leaders.
Too much. That's their problem.
It's an Arteta tactic when he plays against the big teams, and I think now that he has this bigger gap, he can take it as easy as he wants against the big teams. He doesn't necessarily need to go out and get beaten, because the thing about losing those games is while the points on the board matter, they also have a psychological effect on the players. If City come and beat you now, it's like City are behind you and now they have momentum, you don't have momentum. So I think he's realized that in these games, it's often decided by tight margins. So it doesn't really matter if you go out and play the game. The other team can just cancel you out, and then maybe there's a penalty or a counter that decides everything. But for Liverpool, like you said, this is just a familiar pattern that they've shown throughout the season. The goal itself, I just think there wasn't enough alertness to danger. The players in the midfield gave Florentino too much time on the ball. Konate himself did not track the run of.
They don't respect Florentino because he's a defensive midfielder, and he's typically, like you mentioned, he's a breakup guy. He's a breakup guy. He doesn't really have any passing range. You don't expect him to do much except probably pass the ball to his teammate, but that was
and the same thing with Tim Ream. So when he came on, I think he hadn't touched the ball at all for Fulham when he came on. First touches, he got the ball out of his feet, banged it in for about 30 yards, and then everyone is acting surprised that he can hit the ball that well. If you give him that much time and speed, he would definitely start considering his options.
Yep, he's a professional. He'll do it. Anyway, let me give you an update. There's been a 96th minute winner, or what looks like a 96th minute winner in that game between Dortmund and St. Pauli. Dortmund have just scored. It was 2-2. In the 96th minute, they just scored to make it 3-2. So they are
5 goals,
5 goals.
Typical Bundesliga results.
Typical Borussia Dortmund type result. Okay. In the game between Spurs and West Ham, we have an equalizer. Let me see who got the goal. Christian Romero. So it's 1-1. The Argentine centre back has leveled things for Spurs. Yeah, quick thoughts on that.
I expect that game to end in a 1-0 draw. Or a draw. Be it 2-2, 1-1. I expect that game to end in a draw because Fulham. No, Fulham. Spurs. They have their issues, but I don't think West Ham have they are in a better state, a way better state than Spurs to be able to walk away from the Spurs stadium with a win. So I'm not surprised that Spurs have been able to get back into this game. I mean, Conor Gallagher is even playing in this game and all. So yeah, I do expect to see this game end in a draw, and so far, yeah, it's going as I thought.
West Ham are definitely not one of the teams you can trust to to give you a result. So
especially away from home.
Yeah, so Spurs should have been disappointed being behind, and they should still be disappointed with the draw. But this is what they have now, and if they can go on for the win, that would take a lot of pressure off Thomas Frank.
Well, they will need to take some pressure off their manager. Let me go to some other games that are also happening. When you go to... Hold on. Let me get my board here right so I can give you more scores. So there's a game happening in Spain between, I believe it's Mallorca and Athletic Club. It's 2-2. It's 49 minutes played. Nico Williams is on target for Athletic Club. Nico Williams' hype has faded.
Because he hasn't had the best of seasons, or the best of campaigns. Yeah, because
on top of all the controversy about going to Barca, not going, signing an extension in the end.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best of seasons at all. Okay,
we have another update for you. Sunderland have taken the lead against Crystal Palace, 2-1. Brian Brobe getting the guy United still need him, you know. I don't know about you guys. You still need him.
At this point, no.
Why not?
He would have been a good backup.
Has he not banging more than Sheshko this season?
Oh yes, so far he has.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day,
for Sunderland as well.
Thank you. I know that he scored at least like 4 goals in the league.
How many has Sheshko scored?
Sheshko has scored what, 3?
No, he scored more than 4. At least at a minimum of 4 or 5.
In
the league?
4.
Yes.
But that's not bad at all, you know.
I mean, he scored a brace.
Yeah, the brace
against
Wolverhampton.
He scored a brace. Then he scored a goal, the consolation goal. So that's 3. Okay, yeah. Then he scored
4.
before.
So
yeah,
like 4.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
But the thing is, playing for Sunderland and playing for Man United, the weight of expectation is different. And
but you also tell you that
everything.
You also tell you that when you play for United, you have better quality providers. You get probably more chances on average than he gets playing for Sunderland.
True, that's true. But at the end of the day, even if you score, let's say you are Sheshko, you come in for the kind of money that he came in, and you score even, let's say, 15 goals in all competitions, that's great. But at the end of the day, if you are Brobe, you score 10, that would be that's not great if you score 15 goals for Man United if you are Sheshko. But if you are Brian Brobe, you score 10, that would be great.
Yeah.
In the sense that, and I don't agree with your point in the sense that, yes, you don't have too many quality players at Sunderland. But at the end of the day, the goal scoring burden or the goal scoring output is pretty much spread around when it comes to Man United than at Sunderland. Because at the end of the day, there are too many quality players competing for one single ball, more or less. But at Sunderland, the midfielders just lay on the pass to you, do your work. But at Man United, yes, the midfielders, they do more than, or in any top quality elite club, the midfielders, they do more than just play your midfield role. These days, Enzo Fernandez is scoring. These days, even Moises Caicedo is scoring. We see Malo Gusto, who hadn't scored in like forever. He has scored a couple of goals this season. So it's more competitive. You have more mouths to feed.
Yeah.
And there's just one ball. You get my point. So you have a situation where it will be quite difficult to be able to score a bold number of goals compared to someone who is playing in a mid-table or lower club where everything is being fed to him. If you are the striker, more or less. So.
Brentford are still continuing with their wastefulness in front of goal.
They've been very wasteful.
I think they just wasted another really brilliant opportunity.
You got Thiago. He's arguing that how do you call it? I think Collins is arguing that there was a foul in there, but I don't think that's the case.
There was somebody was pulled down before that cross came in, but I don't think it was significant enough for the referee to want to review the sequence.
Shada still is on the floor.
Clutching at his knee. I'm not sure what's going on with him over there, but looks like he's in quite some pain. Look at Liverpool's right back, literally operating as a right winger today. Jeremy Frimpong has been very high up the pitch.
Hey, what should Konate do?
Cross the ball. Well, yeah, you're not beating the goalkeeper from there. So Liverpool are looking like they will be heading to a draw unless something drastic changes in this game. Meanwhile, Chelsea are effecting a change. Joao Pedro is coming off. Looks like Liam Delap will be coming on for him. The two strikers that Chelsea fans have spent all season complaining about. So Joao Pedro's fame and goodwill disappeared very quickly.
Like he started. I think he just started off with a bang. The scoring in the semi-final and the final of the Club World Cup. It just meant that the way the expectation on him suddenly grew. He started to look like a bargain, according to some people. But I think the problem is he's a streaky player. So when he's not like Richarlison is just I score in 5 games in a row. I don't score for 15. Not that kind of streaky, but he has he seems to very close round to Liverpool, but he seems to find for his form in batches, and that's not very helpful. When you are playing at a top club like Chelsea. If they could have found a way to pair him up with a striker who wasn't also inconsistent, that would be helpful. But then if you have two strikers and both of them are not in good form, and you don't have an experienced striker who just some way somehow he finds a tap in, he finds a header here and there to just to score. Ekitike looks like the offside has been given though.
Yeah, but it looks like he didn't have time to celebrate that. Oh, do we have another penalty on our hands? It looks like Chelsea have a penalty. I'm not sure why.
Not serious at all.
I'm not sure why, but Chelsea have a penalty. Kelleher looks disappointed.
He's not serious at all.
Let me see the sequence that led to this situation. So, I think it was
Just clear the hell out of him.
But that was.
I think Brentford have shot themselves in the foot twice today.
First of all, I was going to say that was a bad pass, but he had no business trying to trap the ball first. Just clear the ball.
Kick it. I don't know.
Man. Yeah, that's such a poor penalty to concede after literally being in the game.
They've actually given them 2 free goals.
2 free goals. So Chelsea Football Club.
Liverpool have done some wholesale changes.
I think he should be looking for a new club.
He needs to.
If
I thought there was a move for him to return back to
and Juventus are so interested in.
I was being modest. He says he wants to stay at Liverpool. The club is disrespect. The manager is disrespecting him because there are players in the team you are way better than who are getting consistent minutes, and you are having to warm the bench. I mean, come on, why are you warming the bench for Cody Gakpo? Anyway.
Kopama have scored.
Yeah, so it's 2-0. Chelsea lead. Looks like Chelsea and Liam Rosinia is a thing. Tactical Rosinia, man managing Rosinia, game reading Rosinia, doing his thing. He's got the vision. Look at him right there. Blue trench coats, blue navy trousers, blue bomber jackets with the white kicks. Fly on the bench. Liam Rosinia doing his thing there. Cole Palmer, cold. This is what almost like doing.
Precision.
Low and hard.
Even if Kelly had gone to that side, there's no way he's
low and hard. Don't try to put the ball.
Who was that?
McAllister.
McAllister low and hard. That was clear.
Yep.
That was skied over the
And
bar.
McAllister has lost his place in the Liverpool team. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but he's not started at least the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
He's been on the bench.
But I think that's quite good in the sense that he looked fatigued. Right from the start of the season, you could see that there was something off. His legs looked a bit heavy. His conditioning looked a bit off. You could tell that he was suffering from a bit of fatigue. So he getting some form of game management at this point in the season, I think is good. Knowing very well that now they have enough midfielders to cover up in his absence, and even if Mohamed Salah is not being played as many times as he as recently or as pertained in recent times. And so for me, I think it's okay in terms of team management, because you definitely need a player like McAllister to come good once you get beyond the transfer season in January, the February, March, April, the business and of the season, yeah, you definitely need a guy like McAllister to be able to bring the goods.
Well, Liverpool Football Club are in a desperate need of 3 points. Like I said, this will be 4 draws on a bounce. If they cannot get 3 points out of this game, they are currently ball just dashed across the face of goal. Needed just a poke from Hugo Ekitike, and that would have been 2-1. I have enjoyed Jeremy Frimpong in this game, to be honest. Looking a little more like the Leverkusen Jeremy Frimpong. He's been.
I think it went under his foot.
Let me give you an update as well. Nigeria have taken the lead against Egypt. I think that is Akor Adams. If my eyes are not deceiving me, 1-0. The Super Eagles of Nigeria lead the Pharaohs of Egypt. 35 minutes played in that first half. Let me take thoughts.
Yeah, it was always going to be Nigeria possibly winning this game or likely winning this game because they are more of a deeper team.
Yeah.
Egypt
have been better than Egypt in the tournament too.
Yeah, true. Egypt, if you take out their usual starters, they don't have much to offer from the bench. But with Nigeria, it's a heavily rotated squad.
Yep, it is.
There's no Lukman in there. There's no Osimhen in there. Calvin Bassey is not in there. A handful of other folks are not in there. So, so it's not surprising that you see Nigeria taking the lead because despite all these absences or absentees, they still have quality players on the pitch.
Yeah.
They still do have quality players on the pitch, so I'm not surprised at all. I expect them to win bronze, despite the fact that, yes, they missed out on making it back to the final of the AFCON.
I see Moroccans holding Nigerian flags in the stands. Very interesting, but I know what that means.
I mean, anything against a North African rival, they'll go for it.
Yep. That's the loadout. Kwaji, just quick thoughts on that one.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I think Nigeria were the better team. Though unfortunately, when they got to the semi-final against Morocco, that they couldn't, make it through. But at least up to that point, they seemed like they had been the better team in the tournament with more quality in terms of squad depth. So taking the Adams scored in the quarterfinal as well.
Yeah,
the winner against Algeria. So good for him to get another goal in the competition. And no surprises there. I think Nigeria should wrap up third place quite easily.
Liverpool, they are not serious.
Quick thoughts on Liverpool.
They are shooting the ball from
literally
40
everywhere.
yards, 45. What is that?
They are struggling to break down the opponent. So I'm guessing they are thinking that shoot on sight is a good policy with just about 7 minutes of regulation time.
High, very high, to give the game away. I mean, you're under pressure. The goalkeeper, you make it safe. Calm down. Let your players go. Let them go forward. And then you
take the steam off.
Take it long.
No, they're also a philosophy team. So what they are doing is they are doing a
player from the back. We don't just.
Looks like we might have a little situation with the Nigeria goal. It's been reviewed by VAR. The officials are about to give us a verdict now. So I'm having a look at it. So the goal has been chalked off. The goal has been chalked off. Akor is going to pick up a yellow card as well. I believe for using his hand in that situation. Wow. Onuachu actually scored that goal. Let me see this again. So, put an arm and an elbow on his marker.
I mean, can you blame him? He's 6'7".
Yeah.
I mean, there's no malice in. I think this is harsh.
I don't think it makes any sense because
this is harsh.
Yeah.
He's 6'7".
And the guy is
not like he's swinging his arm.
Foul, yes,
but
not a yellow
card. Yeah, almost looks like it was deliberate. I don't think it's deliberate. Like
No.
he's a
He's
big
just
guy.
bigger than him.
He's holding himself
He's
up.
holding his ground aerially.
I don't
setting himself up to challenge for an aerial ball.
I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
How do they expect footballers to play the game?
No contact. Make sure you don't touch your opponents when you are moving. I don't know how that works, but that's what referees expect. Anyway,
well, then Daniel will get some reprieve because all the hate will be going towards this referee. If they should lose this one, despite the fact that it's a bronze medal game, even if they should lose this game, the referee will catch a lot of heat from Nigerians because this for me I think is a bit too harsh.
Meanwhile, Liverpool probably want a penalty that they are not going to get because
they say the way that Konate is chasing the ball.
Let me update you on the other score. So there's only one goalless game so far. It's between Leeds United and Fulham at Eland Road. It's still goalless. In that one, it's 84 minutes played. In that encounter,
good run from Soboslai, but
nobody.
I
has been
think
able
they've
to
taken
break
the
the
penalty, but
there's no way.
no, not for this, but for when Soboslai went through, I think there was the challenge on him.
Oh, what? He went with the ball.
No mind. He's letting his Liverpool bias show through. Anyway, if your team is good, they should win the game. Well, it's still 1-1. Let me just give you a quick update and then I can come to you. It's still 1-1 between Spurs and West Ham. Sunderland lead Palace by 2-1. Liverpool 1, Burnley 1, Leeds 0, Fulham 0, Chelsea 2, Brentford 0. Yeah, you're making a point.
No, I just think he could have been a bit more clever. I'm not saying necessarily that it was a foul, but the type of challenge that was given on him, if there was definitely contact made in that position, I don't think he could have got the ball across. I don't know if necessarily whether he would have if he knew that he couldn't get the ball across. I thought that maybe he should have tried to use a contact to win a penalty, but other than that, it looks like Chiesa finally gets his 2 minutes on the pitch. Yeah,
Charlie, this manager is not serious. Rio Ngomoha gets to come onto the pitch before Chiesa. Hey, is Gakpo still on?
Yeah.
Saint Gakpo. Hey. Anyway, lineups are out for Nottingham Forest, Arsenal. Let me give you that real quick. So, Matt Zels is in post for Forest. Ola Aina and Milinkovic, Murillo and Neko Williams, Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangari are the holding midfielders, and then they have Nicolas Dominguez, I believe is Argentine, Morgan Gibbs-White and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Igor Jesus, the Brazilian, will lead the line. Arsenal 4-3-3. David Raya is in post. White, Saliba, Magalhaes and Urian Timber. Timber is a left back today. In the middle, they have Zubimendi, Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice. Martinelli, Gyökeres and Madueke. So no Eze today as well. When you go to the bench, AC on the bench, yes. Kepa, Mosqueras, Luis Skelly, Eze, Merino, Saka, Jesus, Trossard, Havertz. There's a Champions League game coming up.
That's a stacked bench. Please go through that again.
Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, Saka, Merino, Eze, Skelly, Mosquera and Kepa.
That's easy. That's why they are top of the league. That's by a distance the best
Bench.
available bench that any team has this season.
Yep. So Arsenal Football Club putting out a really strong lineup there. Let me get your thoughts on that lineup and this game and what it could possibly be. We'll wrap up on the games happening in a bit. Yes, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Eze, we spoke about it since Odegaard has been back in the team. Based on how Arteta wants to lay out his team, it means that the captain has blocked the road for Eze into the team. And we spoke about this before Odegaard came back. By the fact that he's a captain and he's a guy who leads the team, it's going to be very difficult for you. Manu had the same problem when he was at Man United. Just because of the positional conflict, it's going to be very difficult for you to get started in the team. But it looks like that hasn't affected Arsenal's momentum. Even without him, they've been able to...
This is not the problem of Manu. This man is in direct competition with the captain of the team.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Manu too was in direct competition with Bruno Fernandes at
in
that
that
point.
Case, it was Amorim who had decided
based
not
on
to
the
play
system.
as
So he needed two midfielders. He couldn't play where Casemiro is, so it was either him or Bruno Fernandes. And I don't know if he thinks maybe Eze Odegaard doesn't have enough solidity in the middle of the park. And to be fair, I don't think you can go far wrong from Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Zubimendi himself has shown that he can be an attacking threat, which I think was as an extra element to his game that I don't think a lot of people who were
didn't know too much about. Yeah.
But he's proven that when he gets into the box, he can be very calm. Rice are never present, and it means that essentially, if you can't play, outward in the wing positions, it means that there's only really one position in the team for you, and that means you have to either take out the captain or you just start Odegaard and. You see, and like I said, based on their form guide, it means that there hasn't necessarily been a transition effect, like a problem with moving from one of them to the other. So I see no reason why he should have to necessarily just play as a just to appease him. In the Guardiola I hope Arteta can at least reach a point, because Guardiola seems very good at being able to tactically adapt and set different players for different matches. But I think Arteta will trust the winning team. and that has had an effect. And once the team, like I said, once the team continues winning, it means that Odegaard will keep his position. On the lineup in general, I think it's strong, but like I said, if you go to their bench, it's also a very strong team there. So it's just all around, it's just very good squad recruitment. They seem to be entering a better phase of health. They seem to be more fit now. At the start of the season, you had a lot of issues where one player became fit and then the other player got injured. One player got fit and the other player got injured. They seem to be able to get in some of their best players back at this time now, and that's going to be very helpful for them going into the season, especially now that they are still competing. They are still competing on all four fronts. I think only they and Newcastle and Chelsea, but Chelsea might be not good, but they are still competing in 4 competitions. It's in a different year, but they are still in the EFL Cup, the FA Cup. You know, so also Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Yeah, Man City are competing in the Champions League. They are competing in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the league. So yeah.
Still in the running for all the
Which is
competitions,
crazy.
Yeah.
Considering all the considering their play.
Well, we are into time added on in the Liverpool game. It's 7 minutes of time added on. It's 1 minute that's been played already. I
disagree. I don't know where that 7 minute came from.
I'm surprised.
shocked.
There's been no proper
There's
stop.
no proper stoppage. The game has flown from one
these
point
days,
to that.
referees have
Why
become
7
very
minutes?
charitable with time added on.
Why 7 minutes?
All of that.
Nobody has gotten injured. Nobody.
Let me give you an update. Quick updates here. So the game between Bilbao and Mallorca has taken another twist. Mallorca have taken the lead. It's 3-2 in that game. Vidad Muriki. Yeah, he's the guy with the ponytail. He's done his thing over there. Leeds United have taken the lead against Fulham 1-0.
Finally.
Yes, Lucas Mecha, Manchester City Academy product. Lucas Mecha, German international.
Leeds have been in really good form. The teams, and with the way West Ham and Burnley are moving, every week they seem to be. At first, it was just a point, but they seem to be pushing themselves further away from the relegation zone.
This is the kind of form I expected Leeds United to be in. Having seen the caliber of players that they bought. Look at Lucas Mecha. I think he was playing at Wolfsburg. He was a very upscale player for Wolfsburg. So if you go and bring someone they brought Noah Okafor, I believe, at the point was on the radar of almost every big team in the world. I'm not sure how he ended up where he is now, but those are some very enterprising players. So I'm not surprised that Leeds United are holding their own. Meanwhile, Burnley look like they want to have something to say about this Liverpool game. Oh man, I don't know why, but these days I find myself supporting the opponents against Liverpool. I'm trying to get
because you want Slot to get sacked.
You're trying to.
You're not getting Xabi Alonso. That's the thing. I mean,
that would be
But
great,
that's the only thing I want. If they
Xabi
can get him
Alonso,
quickly,
if
then
Xabi
they can
Alonso
get
comes
Xabi.
into a team that will actually allow him to coach.
Oh, and this team, they will allow him to coach.
Exactly.
Liverpool allow him to coach.
Exactly.
But I think mentally he's checked out for the rest of the season. I think till the end of the season, he's not looking to coach.
That would be the most sensible thing to do. And to be honest, there will be a lot of openings at the end of the season. I'm just wondering, right, if Liverpool will still be holding on to slots or will say, you know what, thank you very much for your job done, and then you can go.
I think they are waiting, and that's what I expected Man United to do. Wait till the end of the season, then do a proper review. Do a proper review that, okay, in these games, your decisions cost us points, and those points that we lost could have ended up giving us this, or maybe knockout competition like the Champions League. You took this decision, you took that decision, and it affected us. We ended up getting kicked out, and we couldn't progress any further to win the Champions League. So based on this, based on that, player dissatisfaction, all this chaos, man management with Mo Salah, all of those things. So we think it's best if we go our separate ways. Then you make that decision. But in the middle of the season, I don't think it's the best time. So I honestly believe that they will have a serious conversation, unless maybe they end up some way somehow winning the Premier League title. That's the only time that those conversations will be shelved. But
you won't win the title.
You win the title. So for the conversations, it will definitely come. It will definitely come. It will definitely come. But I'm rooting for Man United to have a serious look at Xabi Alonso, because he is the type of coach who will be able to get this team out of this whole, I can't say rot, but out of this whole mediocre run that they are on, where Man United is no longer elite. Like in terms of
Yeah.
proper competition,
Yeah.
they are no longer elite, which is sad. And so you need a coach who will be able to deliver that and get the
Liverpool are
team to
doing
that
some
level.
kitty things over there.
Referee foul.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jabi combines the best elements. Like he's a proven winner, and he's a person who's capable of helping a club,
And
of
he's young.
building a club.
And he knows the club. He knows the culture.
But he doesn't
knows
know.
their
He doesn't know
football.
Man United. Please, he should.
No, talking about
I think he should get yes.
No,
I
I'm
think
so,
he should come to Liverpool.
on a Liverpool thing, right? Would you prefer Oliver Glasner or Xabi Alonso?
Jabi Alonso.
Why?
Because Glasner can come in and it's a bit like Thomas Frank. It's like, what do you expect?
Glasner is a proven Premier League guy already. Though.
He's
Yeah,
a
but
back
he-
three manager. Man,
And he's
that
not a
is
proven
like
winner
people are
yet.
not like. Somebody like Liverpool, for example, Glasner, I don't expect Man United to go closer to him because he's also a back three manager.
But if you spend so much time building a squad for a manager with a back three, wouldn't it then make sense to adjust that?
And
by
he's
No,
not
just-
actually, they've moved away. Man United as a team, they were telling Amorim to abandon the back three. That was the
After
issue.
buying him the players that he needed for a back
They
three.
felt that
That's why he said they are not a serious team.
That's why I'm saying they are not-
flip-flop.
they were actually asking him to abandon the back three and go into a back four. Now, if you are telling him to abandon the back three and play a back four, why would you go for somebody who will now take you back to a back three?
At least, but with Glasner, he's more adaptable. He can change shapes and all in terms of
Liverpool, they are not
in
serious.
terms of how he sets his team
Messi
up.
coach, one second.
Yeah,
Have you watched anything in this game that tells you that this is a Champions
Now
League
you are
contender?
saying,
Yeah.
at
At a point, I thought this was
You thought
form.
that was being
I thought it was form. I thought
No.
that they are lost 9 games
Onyaze.
to 12. I thought you can't be this bad.
He used
This
Klopp's
is their
team to
level.
win the league. He
And-
This
used
is their
Klopp's team
level,
to win
and
the
And
league.
he
I don't
used
know how
Mohamed
he-
Salah as a scapegoat. Right now, Salah has gone to the AFCON. You are heading for 4 games without a win. 4 draws.
And I think over that period, Salah would be joint top scorer with Vets with the same number of goals for Liverpool. So
But at least he's not losing.
Coach, Massa. Coach,
You see, he's not losing, yes, but you don't want to blame Salah for them losing too.
Look, imagine going on a streak of draws, like close to 12 draws before the season ends. That's relegation form. Like, you are going to be flirting with 12, 14, 15 more than you are going to be in touch with the top 6 or top 4.
They've
So,
drawn the game.
Liverpool, another draw in the bag.
But I think, Liverpool, if they have the chance to go in for Xabi Alonso or pick between Xabi Alonso and Glasner, they'll definitely go in for Xabi Alonso because
They
at the end of
discussed
the
him
day-
actually, and then
Yeah.
he ended up going to Real Madrid.
because at the end of the day, there is something that comes with being a former player,
Yep, always.
a
Those are the
former
few words.
player who ended up winning.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
They
F-
give you penalty, you know if you score, you are going to argue the referees at the end of the game. Please.
Yeah.
Let's stop this.
Yeah, there's something that comes with a former player who won something big for the club.
Champions League.
The
yep.
Champions League.
Yep.
Who won something big for the club. So you get it. At a time where the club shouldn't have won the Champions League. Yeah, they shouldn't have won the Champions League.
Got to the final.
That squad, that squad that won that Champions League, they shouldn't have won they shouldn't have won that Champions League.
Telling you.
Then 2 years later, they went to the final.
Again, yep.
You get it. So it comes with that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah. And he's
and
actually
also-
a proven tactician.
Exactly, and he's a
and
winner.
a proven winner. Yeah.
So he checks all the boxes. So
Well,
sentimental values to
Let me give you an update before we go. West Ham have scored against Spurs in the 93rd minute. And guess who? Guess who? My good friend. I've been telling you that if you need a finisher,
Wilson.
Callum Wilson. Oh my goodness. Look, I always tell people that Callum Wilson's only
Injuries.
deficiency is not being able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
If he is healthy, I'm not saying he's a better striker than anybody, but the art of
Efficiency.
finishing,
He's
the
efficient.
art of finishing, he's up there with everybody. Everybody.
He's very
in the league.
efficient. You have to
What?
give it to him.
Put the ball in the net. Nah, Callum Wilson is up there. It's 2-1. It looks like this might be the winning goal. Meanwhile, Liverpool have drawn their game 1-1, and his slot is going to argue with the referees. I'm not sure what the referee could have done for him in this game. Referee gave you a penalty that you didn't deserve, and you botched it
7
anyway.
extra time minutes.
7 minutes of extra time you didn't deserve, and you still could not do anything with it. So honestly, this is as far back as it goes. Let's round it up, guys. We have just about 2 minutes to go. Quick thoughts on games played. Manchester derby, Liverpool draw, Spurs losing last minute. Lots to talk about.
Oh yeah, lots to talk about. I'm quite shocked with the
Checking
West
for a
Ham.
possible offside on the West Ham goal.
Yeah.
Just Goals being.
Offside.
Has it been chalked off?
I think the goal's been given.
It's
goal's
been
been
given. The
given.
fans are there's pandemonium in their stands. They are having the time of their
shocked,
lives.
quite shocked with the result with West Ham beating Tottenham Hotspur, and very shocked with Man United beating Man City. Beyond the just the result, it's not just the result, but the way they beat Man City.
Convincingly.
Convincingly.
Could have been 4-5.
Yes, convincingly. It's the way they beat Man City. That's what got me shocked. And so, result of the round, it definitely have to be Man United beating Man City. In Michael Carrick's first game, and being able to set up the team the way he did, and to deliver the way he did, and get the win to boot. That result of the round.
Yeah,
I want your thoughts on Liverpool. I don't want your thoughts on any other thing. Give me your thoughts on Liverpool.
I mean, the season has been the season it has been, and it will be until something changes. I think that's just the point you made.
What needs to change? Not the manager?
Whatever needs to change. The same elements are being put together, and the results that are coming out are not different. So, just to touch on the Tottenham game, I actually think we'll see on scorecard by the next time we come in to do this. But I think Thomas Frank will be sacked.
By the time we are probably
by the time we're on scorecard, I think Thomas Frank should be gone. Because his home record is abysmal.
Abysmal is probably an understatement, but I get what you mean. Let's keep the eye on North London and see what happens. But thank you very much, Mano. Thank you, Yao Jamie and Coach Christopher. Namely, hands from Daniel Squashy in the studio. Big shout outs to you guys who joined us via YouTube. Always a pleasure hanging out with you. For those who listen on radio and on TV as well, we appreciate the time spent with us. That's how we sign out here. Tomorrow, the Republic of Football will be back.